Welcome everyone to a last minute scheduled stream. I DM'd Mason maybe 40 minutes ago doing this, which is pretty nuts because I'm usually a plan it out type of person. But there's too much stuff going on in Mavs land, like there has been the last few weeks. There's even new rumors coming out this week. Lots to get to. Mason, appreciate you joining us.
100%, man. Yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm excited to talk about these new rumors we got going on.
Yeah, let's start with the first one. Brayden Burries trying to get to Dallas. There's been some reports this week from CBS Sports' Adam Finkelstein and then Yahoo Sports' Kevin O'Connor confirmed it yesterday. I'll go through these rumors real quick, the tweets that we got. Oh, that's ours.
I get the big screen.
Oh, I thought I had it up. This is awkward. Give me a sec. Damn, we tweet too much. All right. Adam Finkelstein on June 1st, a couple of days ago, he said on the CBS Sports stream, quote, "The interesting thing is that so far he, as in Brayden Burries, hasn't taken a lot of workouts. There are teams higher in the lottery that would be interested in working Burries out, yet there's growing speculation he may prefer Dallas." That was 3 days ago. And then a couple of days ago, he doubled up on it and said, on a news stream, he said, "It sounds to me, or at least there's growing evidence that this is where Brayden Burries and his representatives want to be. Brayden Burries is represented by Clutch and Rich Paul. I think there's a lot of traction here, especially when you talk about a player who's got interest from teams higher up in the draft and working him out, but has yet to go to many of these workouts. I think Brayden Burries wants to be in Dallas. I think he wants to play with Cooper Flag, and I think his representatives are going to try to get this done. His representatives being, like they said, Clutch and Rich Paul, who I'm sure basketball fans are familiar with. And then we got some confirmation from another source, Yahoo's Kevin O'Connor, used to be with the Ringer, but he said Adam Finkelstein of CBS Sports reported that Burries hasn't taken many workouts, and there is speculation that he's trying to angle his way to Dallas. I also have heard that same chatter, which is why he lands here. To add more color to that reporting, Burries is represented by Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul, who steered Derek Lively to the Mavericks with the 12th pick in the 2023 draft. I was not aware of that. I don't know about you. And then even though some teams higher wanted to select Lively. So, with that all in mind, Mason, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I wasn't aware of the whole Derek Lively spiel either. I think it's interesting how Kevin O'Connor and Finkelstein have all used their verbiage around all of this. Me personally, after seeing how the Anthony Davis trade went down, look, the agent can make a push for whatever they want, but ultimately it's up to ownership and it's up to general manager on what kind of decisions they want to make. So unless, the ownership like Masai and Schmitz, they want Burries in Dallas. I mean, Rich Paul can say like we want Burries in Dallas, but it's up to Masai and Schmitz. Rich Paul is, I think, great at his job, but I mean, I don't quote me on this, but I think even like he was talking about in his podcast, like how he was sort of blindsided about AD going to Washington. So it's like
Yeah, he was.
anything, yeah. So anything at the end of the day can happen. It's interesting though, especially with the fact that after what KOC said, again, don't know if it's like 100% factual,
Right.
but I'm not going to get into that part about KOC, but
Oh man.
yeah. But I will say, like, it is interesting that he said that, they sort of pushed Lively to get to Dallas. And, if it's the same agent that's doing that for a new player, that's interesting. But also, I don't really know what, like, Rich Paul's relationship was with Nico, if that sort of helped him Lively to Dallas and stuff like that. It's a new front office, it's new ownership, or not new ownership, sorry. New team president, stuff like that.
It is
So
new ownership. It is new ownership from the Derek Lively draft.
yeah, shoot, wow.
December Derek Lively's rookie year is when
Yeah.
that out of nowhere ownership sale happened. So
I don't know why I just thought it was the year before that. Huh. But anything can happen at the end of the day. I mean, I'm sure we'll get into it as the topic goes on, but all in all, it's pretty interesting.
I think there is some validity to this. I think Rich Paul does want to get Burries to Dallas. I think Burries wants to get to Dallas.
Yeah.
The curious part to me though is I feel like if it's true that they're declining workouts from these teams above Dallas in the draft order, like I feel like they wouldn't be doing that unless they had a good idea if that Masai and Schmitz and the Mavericks were interested in Burries. Otherwise, it's just kind of a risky move to like, A, you're passing up more money by not going higher, and B, if the Mavericks don't take you, then where does that leave you in the draft? So I don't know, man. I kind of do kind of buy it a little bit. The curious part to me is if they're doing the whole draft promise and mutual party uh, hoopla or whatever, does that mean like I would have to think that the Mavs are only doing that if they think Burries is basically at the very top of their board for all these guards? Because I mean, as we're sitting here like 19 days away, I mean, the only people that are guaranteed for sure, I would bet my family's life is not going to be there are the top four guys. Anyone else could theoretically be there. I know, like I said on that one stream, the A-Cuff Kings jerseys are printed. There's a small scenario I could see him being there. Michael Brown has been killing workouts and all that, evidently. I don't think he'll be there, but there's like, you never know. Maybe the Clippers go Wagler at 5, and then Brooklyn goes Nate Ament, which we all please. And
Please.
then, the Kings go Acuff, and then the Hawks go the Hawks go with Mara, and then Michael Brown sitting in your lap. So I feel like it's a little too early to be making promises, which is makes this whole thing curious. I know the sources is not like, Shams or like the big hotshot NBA reporters. So I'm not gonna like engrave it into my gravestone that this is gonna happen or anything like that. But it is interesting, like if this happens, like are they passing up on these guards for
I
Burries?
know. I know. Is this a PG stream? PG-13?
Oh, I curse too much, so go for it.
Yeah, I would just keep it like PG-ish. I would be really pissed off if Burries was our number one guard that we want. Like, I get it. Like, they're trying to push their way, and you bring up a great point. Like, why would Rich Paul do it if Schmitz and Masai didn't spark that interest? But it's like, if Mikel's available, are you really gonna fucking take?
Can't you literally can't. I'm sorry.
I
I
would
feel that way about. I mean,
actually.
we'll get into the argument about Kingston. I feel you can't do that with Kingston either. I don't think you can do it with Wagler, but I could understand Masai. I could understand Masai maybe wanting the more athletic guy in Burries over Wagler. I will say, like with all the Wagler buzz, like 5, 6, 7. I mean, with all
You're
these
not a
guards,
Wagner
honestly.
guy at all?
No, I am. I am. I would say like with all these guard prospects, including Michael, like they're not guaranteed to be hits as high as we are on them. Like there's like more of a case for why they could fail, and that's the one positive that I think Burries has is there's not as much of a big case you can make for why he would fail as a prospect. I think like his worst absolute case scenario would be like a Dante DiVincenzo type, and even Dante DiVincenzo has shown to play valuable minutes for the Timberwolves next to Ant in some playoff series. So that's to me is like the worst case scenario of what a Burries could be. But like I don't know, if like Mike Kell's back doesn't work out, or the decision making never gets ironed out, or he just turns into like Jordan Poole as a shot taker,
Yeah.
or Wagler if the athleticism where he's similar to me as an athlete shows up in the NBA, that's a problem. A Cuff's defense like severely limiting what he can do for a team. Like that's the case for Burries, I guess. But I still, there's no part of me that thinks like, I mean, I'm going to be lower on him probably than, I mean, everyone on Mavs Twitter has their Brayden Burries Mavs jerseys out, like printed out already. I'm probably going to be lower than the consensus on him, but I mean, I like the guy a lot. I wouldn't be mad if he's the pick for sure. I'm scared that we're going to get to draft night and they're going to pass up on, I mean, you would be fine if they passed up on Kingston, but like if they passed up, for me, if they passed up on Michael, Wagler, or Kingston for Burries, I would consider that a mistake. But I also will say Mike Schmitz and Masai have been doing this a lot longer than I have and know what they're talking about with the draft. But I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't get the logic there personally.
Does the Young Hansen draft pick make you hesitant at all?
Um.
Because I feel like it's a thing that, like, shockingly enough, man, like I was a fan of the Schmitz hire. I like it,
Me
but
too.
I'm like very surprised about the fact that no one has really talked about that in the podcast realm too much. And I
You want
think
to be a
it's
little
I think
positive.
what'd you say?
So you sometimes want to be a little positive, but we just
Sure, I
kind of
get it.
ignore you ignore like your new girlfriend's like red flags, if you will, and that's what
True.
it
No,
is.
it's a valid take, but like at the same time, like we're talking about like they have a good draft pick, and I mean I don't think anyone can say there was a more shocking pick in the draft than that one.
Nope, probably
Maybe
probably not.
I don't know. Maybe Igor that
Igor was
early.
pretty shocking.
Igor was pretty
Yeah,
shocking.
that was pretty shocking.
Um, but
Hong Jansen was definitely probably the most surprising move of the entire first round. I did see that the Timberwolves were thinking about taking him right after that,
yeah,
not to justify the pick, but I mean, it's only a year into the kid's career. It doesn't look great.
I was
For
listening
sure, it
to
doesn't look great.
I was listening to the Locked On pod, and it was like Nick Angstadt was saying that he was sitting next to Young, like all the way up top at draft night.
Uh,
It was like no one expected him to go that early.
yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, look,
No one's gonna have a perfect draft record. Like Sam
100%.
Presti doesn't have a perfect draft record. He
And
took Usman Jiang in the lottery. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, he did. So I mean, back to like the main point that we were sort of going over. Look, in regards to like the Flemings and Brayden and all that whole debate and everything like that.
We'll get to it.
I think the most important thing, and a lot of people disagree with me on this, and that's why I love basketball. You can debate back and forth with it. Some people say take the best player available. I'm more of a guy, and this is just my opinion. I say take the player that fits the system the best. And I think that when you talk about a system, 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, you need a great point guard in that system to thrive and win an NBA championship. I mean, we could go down the line of every single team that's won a championship in the last 10 to 15 years, and they all have great point guards. Um, and when you have this guard heavy of a draft, you have to go with one of those four guys. I don't know if it was you or Jay that I was DMing with, but either one of you guys said, do you consider Brayden a point guard or a shooting guard? And the thing is that I think you just have to capitalize on the guard fact. I think he's a combo guard. I think when you are around a player like Kyrie Irving, that changes like your whole perspective on the game of basketball. You're able to
I agree with you. But I also thought that with Jaden Hardy once upon a time.
I'm not a believer in okay, so like I would like hype up Jaden every once in a while, but I'm not a believer in like G League Ignite players whatsoever. like
Oh,
I
that's a fair. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a
so
good G League Ignite player. Kaminga was like the best prospect of the Ignite players, and he's on his
Matas.
second and he was Ignite.
He,
Okay, I mean I believe you. We're not
no,
gonna fact check it.
now I'm curious. I think he was
Mataz was a hit.
because he didn't go to college.
I didn't know he played for the Ignite though, but
Yeah, he was a forward for the
he
G
did.
League.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's probably the best Ignite guy to come into the league.
It's just I'm not a fan of it. I mean, I think there's levels to development, and I think college and plays a crucial part in it. Um, I think G League basketball is. I mean, you go watch a G League game. It's so different compared to the NBA, and it just doesn't translate properly. And
Ryan
I think
Nemhard was putting up Pistol Pete stats in G League last year.
exactly, man, exactly, and he was playing it the right way. He was still facilitating, but majority of the guards in the G League are just chuck it players basically. And that's what that's what Jaden Hardy was doing when he got to the Mavs. But I think you go for a guard. I know you guys have talked a lot about Yaxel being available at 9 and everything like that.
Dude, man, if I don't think I can release another public big board because if anyone finds out where Yaxel's placed, I'm going to get sent to Guantanamo Bay. I'm serious. I literally can't do it. I don't think
He's
I'll be
good,
able to.
man. Like he's really freaking good.
I know he's just our age is the problem.
I know. I actually am the same age as him. That's the crazy
Oh
part.
shit.
Yeah, I know. But I don't know, man. I'm not
That's
a
my thing with the whole with the system thing though. What is our system? Because I feel like Cooper's the only one that we can sharpie in for the next 10 years. And I'm okay with not taking a center if I still believe in Lively. I kind of want to run out the ground ball with Derek Lively and see how that goes. So I'm okay with not going Mara.
he
I
has
love
one more
Mara
strike in
too.
my book. He has one more
Yeah,
strike.
like
I
that's
want to see how like this recovery process actually went.
he's extension eligible this summer. He's not going to get an extension. Next summer you have to make a decision or you basically let him walk. Or I mean you could do the restricted free agency game and that game isn't really as fruitful for other teams as
I think you can make a deep playoff run with our center rotation right now. If healthy, I do. I think I really I am a huge Musa guy. Like
Same.
I think
That's why I want Gafford. That's no disrespect. That's why I want Gafford shipped out almost because I kind of want to
you and me
if
both.
they absolutely have to, I'm cool with. I mean, it is kind of a thin center rotation, but Lively, Cisse, and if you bring back Bagley, I mean, I don't know how Bagley factors in with Masai, but
You want to know my Musa ceiling?
Oh boy.
Mitchell Robinson.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
The only concern I have with Cisse, but it does make him more impressive that he gets like a ton of rebounds, is I feel like he's like Cooper Flag sized. That's probably why he went like kind of under the radar. But I
Is
feel
he?
like he's a little undersized for a
He
center. Is
is,
my
yeah.
only thing with him. But he has that motor. I wish he played more, but maybe it was a good thing he didn't play more because otherwise we'd be
Yeah.
drafting 11th instead of 9th. But yeah, our center rotation's interesting. I don't think I would add at the 9th pick, but if they thought Mara was like the best player, then go for it. I mean, that's the thing with the whole like, how do you build around Coop? Like, I feel like you could go versatile forward if you wanted to. If Yaxel was 19 and did what he did, then that's okay. I also
Sure.
get passing on Yaxel because of his age. I do want to guard. I do feel like the best prospects at that spot are
Yaxel would
guards.
be 30 years old when we got our new arena.
What was Luca? What was Luca and Kyrie's age gap?
Is it the same? No, it's worse.
I think it's a little bit worse.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
what's
Kyrie's
Luka,
like 7
26
years
now?
older. Yeah,
Luka's
something like
26
that.
and Kyrie's 34, yeah.
My whole thing. All right, I guess we weren't planning to talk about it, but we could talk about it. The whole
Yeah.
age gap with Yaxel, I completely understand. Like I said I'm going to say on every stream when I talk glowingly about Yaxel, I get why people don't want to do it because of the age gap. Like 100%, I get it. My thing is like I feel like we're going to be ready to win sooner than we realize because we have Cooper Flag on our team. Like he's just one of those guys. Like I think we're going to be able to make deep playoff
You're
runs.
spot on. You're spot
And
on.
like
I'm not
I don't think it's like a 5 to 10 year thing that we have to wait for all that. And I don't think we can. Like here's the other part of it. I feel like the clock ticks faster than we realize to keep a superstar
yeah.
happy, show you're serious about winning. And that clock has already started. I hate that I have to talk like that, but we just saw it with Luca in a way that the pressure ticks. So I think we have to win sooner than we realize. And I think we will because Cooper is that fucking good at basketball. I know it's been a while since we've watched him play. Still the same guy. He's ridiculous at basketball. So I think we're going to be. I'm not saying like next year we're going to contend with the Spurs, the year after that even, but I think sooner than later we will. Like 3 years, I could see it.
I want to piggyback off of that. Two things. One thing that, I didn't speak about a lot when the trade happened, and it's not like talking about Luke or anything like that, but Nico sort of like his mindset on it is like, he did it to match up with the teams that he think they would face in the finals that could have those similar 4-5 lineups.
I
That's like
still to this day think he did it because he had a personal vendetta against Luca. I don't even know if it was basketball reasons.
I would love a 30 for 30 on it one day. Like I would love a sit
We're
down.
gonna get it. We're
Like,
gonna get it one day.
I want a fucking documentary, like one-on-one with Kid Nico. Like I pray we get it. I don't know if we ever will. I really don't. If Nico would ever sit down and do that, but
True.
but my going back to my point is like I think that you can't really build your team around your opponents. You have to build your team on what's best for you. And
100% agree with that, man.
and
100%.
and I think like that's sort of what I felt like Nico was trying to do. Like, how can I match up our guys with Chet and Hardenstein? How can I match up our guys with Horford and Porzingis? Just giving analogies. Or everyone thought Cleveland was going to make a long run. How can I match up AD and Lively with Mobley?
I think Cleveland
and Allen?
was one of the teams he referenced.
Yeah.
I could be in the trade call, but he definitely referenced Cleveland.
So that's where I'm trying to get at, is like you don't build your team off of your opponents. Like and to your point, like it changes every year. Who the fuck thought San Antonio would be in the NBA Finals right now? They were supposed in the ESPN polls, weren't they playing? Like,
yeah, I mean the betting regular season over under wins. Like we were higher than them, and a lot of people also thought our number was too low, which turns out Vegas usually gets these things right.
Fuck.
We were way below our number, but we had a higher regular season preseason over under wins thing than the Spurs, and they are in the finals and could
changes
win
like that, man.
It does change
like
it.
That.
So I feel like some of the Burries buzz like recent weeks picked up on Mavs land because like we're watching a series with the Spurs and OKC, and we're seeing a bunch of like 200-pound guards like the Harper, Castle.
I saw you guys tweet about this. This was funny.
It was a little strong, man. I shouldn't have said that the only thing Burries is better than is weight, but that is the sentiment that it's come out lately. But what were you referencing?
No, I was referencing to it was like how everyone was tweeting about that series, and then it was the Eastern Conference Finals, and I don't know if it was you or Jay, but it was like everyone was talking about the Spurs OKC series, and then all the guards in the Eastern Conference Finals are like 6'2" and under, and it's a valid point. It's a valid point.
Yeah,
It's just
the Knicks and Cavs went to overtime one game, and it was like
yeah,
Donovan Mitchell, white guy shooter. On the other side, it was Jalen Brunson, white guy shooter. It's like a
yeah,
completely different sport over there.
yeah. It's
So like if the Mavericks think Burries is like the best guy for Coop's timeline and all that, that's why they want to make the pick. He's the best fit. They even see some more like I don't think he's ever going to be a point guard personally. But like
ooh.
it's just tough. I feel like we can't just like pigeonhole combo guards into playing point guard. It's difficult. Like I feel like
What
some of
about
us
Derek
take it
White?
for I wouldn't consider him a point guard.
But
I
he
mean,
can
but
run it.
maybe a little bit. Yeah, that's. I mean, they have an interesting team build. That's maybe a similar team build we would go for. Is you have Derek White, but most of your ball handling is done via your wings with Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum. Maybe you can get away with it with Cooper handling the ball a lot, but I kind of want someone that makes the game easier for Coop, especially on offense. Like we didn't really get to see Coop's like ability as like a
Yeah.
play finisher a lot. It was a lot of time. That's what makes the rookie season as crazy as it was. Is like it was all him creating and initiating, and it was him. Like there was Nemhart sometimes made it easier for him. Brandon Williams was gunning for his own shot, so it wasn't him. But
That's why I want it. That's why not to cut you off. I'm sorry.
no, you're good. Cut me off whenever you want.
That's why I want. That's why I want a backup stretch. If you look at the playoffs, like one thing that I've noticed a lot, these star players are getting to the. I mean, this is just common sense basketball, but I've seen a lot in the playoffs. Is these star guards, these guys who are getting to the basket, are thriving way more. Again, common sense basketball when there's a stretch five because it opens up the floor way more. You look at Brunson being able to attack the basket when Cat's on the floor versus when Mitchell Robinson's on the floor. You look at Shea being able to attack the basket at a way more efficient rate when they had a lineup of Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren out on the floor. It makes the game way more simple. The reason why Coop would sometimes struggle in these scenarios is because they'd have a fucking lineup of Daniel Gafford in the game with like Marvin Bagley and to sort of be my own devil's advocate, Marvin shot the ball pretty well. But the point of the matter is like no one's like totally stepping out on Marvin. So if you could get a legitimate stretch five and open up the floor for someone who I think is already like a superstar talent at getting to the basket, your offense is going to thrive 10 times even more. And so it's like we have to get a stretch, man. And it's
No,
like,
I think it's mandatory. Not only just for Coop, but if you're thinking about the Spurs matchup, which I mean,
yeah,
in some way you do, you got to get Wemby out of that fucking paint. Like
you
you
have
just
to.
have to. You
You
got to
have
go
to.
5 out and get him out of the paint as much as you can. They're still going to get ways for Wemby to be in the paint, but that stretch five archetype is still like a hard player to find though. Like I'm thinking about Porzingis, Miles Turner, like those type of guys. Like they still have deficiencies in certain big man aspects. So I mean, that's why it's like almost like your stretch five is gonna have to be like if you're playing the Spurs, like a Marez Johnson or Axel Lindenberg type.
Yeah, no, that I mean, Jalen. I replied to your guys' tweet. Jalen Williams would be like actually a really good fit with it. Jaime Cardona in the comments. I'm sorry, but Derek Lively is he's not. I don't think he's ever going to be a 3-point shooter, my man.
We're gonna
I
have
don't.
to we're gonna have to give up that dream.
Shout
The
out
clutch,
to
the pre. Go ahead.
the Cuban quote. The season's going to go as well.
The pre-draft clutch workout when Lively went for his draft was spectacular. He looked like Peja Stojakovic in that, but it's not happening in a real game, unfortunately. If it does, I will be the first to admit it, and I'll even get a jersey that says Derek Lively is a stretch five on the back, customized. if Derek Lively shoots threes like that, that's just probably not happening. But going back to the Burries point guard stuff, like even in high school, like it gets brought up that he played point guard in high school. He averaged like less than 4 assists all those years. He was primarily a bucket, a damn good bucket, I will add. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like his scoring potential is actually what's underrated for me with him, as opposed to like the defense or playmaking. Like the defense stuff, I don't know. Like it gets casually thrown out that he could be like a Derek White, Drew Holiday, Alex Caruso type of defender when those are like 3 of the best perimeter defenders of the
Yeah.
2010s and 2020s. And I mean, I think Burries is fine. Like he's going to hold his own. I don't know if he's like assignment, go get that guy full game like those 3 guys I just mentioned are. And it's just such a high standard. Like 10 guys make all defensive teams every year. Like I don't know if it's like a guarantee that I mean any one of these guys could do it. I mean, I think Marez Johnson's probably the best bet, but it's still fucking hard. It's harder to make it's harder to make an all defensive team than it is to make an all NBA team by the math.
Oh shit. Do you think shout out to Mavs highlights. He posts like 10 mocks a day. The guy's a mock master. Do you think like I've been looking at his mocks, and some people have said it too, other than outside of him. Do you think there's any chance of Burries falling to 12? And would you take
That's
the risk?
I mean, it depends on how you like. These teams are going to do these boards in tiers. So if they think Burries is closer to this tier of the Michaels, Kingstons, Wogglers, and Burries is in that tier, then I think you have to just take him at 9 because he's probably the last one there. If they
Yeah.
think he's like the tier below that, like let's say he's in the same tier as like Phylon or the Michigan, like in the same tier as the Michigan Bigs, then you definitely want to trade back. And I would try to get, but it's also not a guarantee you can get that. I know the 12 and 17 trade is like going to be commonly talked about until the draft happens. But
Oh no,
damn,
I
I don't.
wasn't talking about that way. I've been
Which way?
seeing. I've from what I've seen a lot of realistic mocks where you could get that 12 pick via PJ with that
Ooh.
Wiggins and Joe attachment. Doing something around that, obviously, we would have like I would do something like I don't know. I would have to throw it in the machine to see if we could even do it. I'm gonna throw you a mock right now.
Go for
Let's
it.
just in case like salary doesn't go into account, but PJ and pick 30. I don't think OKC would do this. PJ and pick 30 for Wiggins, Joe, 12 and 17. I don't think they do
Nah,
it.
probably not both picks. Uh,
Would you do it for 12?
yeah,
Wiggins, Joe, 12 for PJ and 30th. And
yeah, probably.
you could get Merez at 12.
You can get Merez or Yaxel or even Burries or Phylon. I mean, I feel like Phylon is like the guy that just gets like fucking left out of these discussions. But I'm
I'm
gonna.
a Fallon
I've
guy.
said it before. I'm gonna have Phylon on my personal board that will never see the light of day, higher than where he's gonna get drafted. I mean, I think Phylon
I need
is that
I need
dude.
to see your personal board. I need to see it. I'm
Well,
so curious.
maybe in DM. Like I said, if Mavs Twitter sees my board, I'm immediately getting shipped off to
I'm a
Guantanamo Bay.
Phylon guy too.
No, I am. I feel like yeah, it doesn't seem like he's going to get taken at 9. There was the report the other day from ESPN's Jeremy Wood that said the Mavericks and the Bucks have interest in Phylon. But what does that mean? Does it mean trade back? Does it mean at 9? See, 9 would probably feel rich for like everyone, but I would be okay with that.
Dude, draft night's gonna be crazy. I think.
Draft night is going to be crazy.
I
It is
just
going to
hope.
be crazy.
Yeah, I just hope Masai doesn't stay stagnant in it. I think this is like the perfect year to make a move in it. I really do.
Let's debate this while we're at it. Burries
Let's do it.
Kingston. Make me your case for why you would prefer Brayden Burries to Kingston. If it's like the decision might come down to 9, the decision at 9 might come down to Brayden Burries, Kingston Flemings, or one of two Michigan bigs in Yaxel or Merez. But just with Burries and Kingston, tell me why you prefer Brayden Burries over Kingston.
So one of my most important factors going into this draft is that you got to hit on pick or whatever your first pick is, pick 9, pick 12, whatever. You got to hit on it. You have to hit on it. And from a reliability standpoint, I think this is my opinion. I think Kingston has a higher bust rate than Burries. I
Pause.
think, yeah, massive. Yeah, massive. Actually, yeah,
Go
very
ahead.
big.
Go ahead.
Um,
I know what you meant though.
I can't even use that word anymore now. I do think that Burries he could thrive more in the NBA. I do think Kingston has more potential, but with his size, I'm just not a fan of the way he plays basketball. I'm not a fan of the De'Aaron Fox comparisons that I see all the time. I don't get it whatsoever. Um, Potential is there, but if I want to for sure hit on pick 9, and those are two guys that are available there out of the guards, I'm going Burries. Reliability wise, from 3, I think he's better. I also people debate this because I mean I've seen people in the comments even say it about the POA defense. I think Burries is a better defender than Kingston, and I think Burries, if he learns from Kyrie properly, he can gel into a legitimate point guard that can last with Coop for a very long time. I think what really, made me lose attraction for Kingston's game was watching him in March Madness. It was a rough March for him, especially the 2 final games. I think it was the 2 final games. I don't know, man. I was not a fan of the shots he was taking whatsoever. And I don't like judging players off 2 games, but it sort of stuck with me. Um, and not to sound repetitive, but I think reliability-wise, Burries is a safer pick. And I mean,
Well, let me ask you this about the reliability part of it, because I would
Mhm.
say Burries is safer in a way than even Michael or Wagler, but you wouldn't take Burries over those two guys, right? Wagler scares, like on one day I could be like, okay,
Wagler is
Wagler's
scary.
gonna be Wagler can be an all NBA guy, and then the next day I'm like, fuck, if this doesn't work out, man, this is spooky. So Burries, like of all these guards, Burries to me is the safest, I would say. Um, but
I'm
you're
not
not.
worried by the way, I'm not worried about the Mikel back stuff, so that's why I think Mikel's the
No,
safest.
there's actually a funny tidbit on Locked On Mavs interview they did last night. Mike Hill did an interview with the No Ceilings guys, and apparently after the No Ceilings interview, he like took his mom on his like back, like as a piggyback ride, to show that his back was fine. I know it does sound weird, but to show that his back was fine, like piggyback carried his mom to like prove that his back was fine. I don't know if that was just
That's
performative or
crazy,
whatnot.
bro. Why
I
would he
know.
do
I could see something like that happening in these draft interviews. I think Mike Hill is probably going to kill this whole pre-draft process, and I think he's going to go 5 or 6.
that would break my heart, man, especially because, like, man, that guy wants to go to Dallas, bro. Like,
Hey, but
that
try
interview.
hard, try harder. Pull these Burries, Rich Paul shenanigans. Try harder. Show
Who's
me
his
you want to
agent?
be in Dallas.
Who's his agent?
That's a good question. I don't know. Not Rich Paul is like the one agent. I mean, I'm sure there's other agents out there that are like, we'll try to like pull strings, but Rich Paul is the guy of like pulling strings most of the
I
time.
I don't
So
think he's clutch.
Kristen, he's represented by Christian Dawkins, who I'm not familiar with. Um,
I'm not familiar
so
with him.
yeah, I'm not too familiar with that.
Yeah,
But I
man.
will say with the bad game thing, you didn't. I'm assuming you didn't watch Arizona versus Michigan, and Burries was like
Oh,
he was
I
not great
watched
in that.
I watched it.
He wasn't good. I honestly like as a Burries, I am a Burries fan, which is actually comes off that I'm not. But
To be
throughout the
fair,
year, he's one of my
it
favorite
was
players.
Michigan though. Like,
It
who the
was
fuck?
Michigan, and also here's my bigger thing: they were playing in a football stadium, and I don't think shooting should be judged in a football stadium.
Ooh,
But he was bad that game. There's no getting around it. And Phylon, the same team. Not to say that this is why Phylon's better than Burries or anything, but Phylon, same team, like eviscerated Michigan, even though they lost. So I don't know. The
yeah.
one game sample size is kind of interesting because like DP had a bad game to
I
close the
know. That's why I
tournament.
said I don't like judging off of it, but it
Yeah, but I
just
get what you're saying. Kingston's second half of the season was not great. I'll just be honest. As Kingston Fleming's agent, it was not great. But like I don't know. His offensive process needs to be tweaked, but I feel like more spacing, like in the NBA, as opposed to that jumbo. Like basically, Houston was doing a October 2025 Mavericks impersonation with two bigs with AD and Lively with what they had, just like Tugler and Sanak. Sanak somewhat spaced the floor, but not really. They were kind of clogging the paint. I just feel like Kingston's like rim percentage and all that stuff is going to go up when he has space to get to where he wants. I
he
feel like
needs some Texas
athletically,
barbecue too. He needs some Texas barbecue.
I feel like athletically he pops more on film than Burries too. I mean, Burries is a. I mean, he tested out well at the
Sure,
combine, but I think
100%.
Kingston's a crazy, to me, a more impressive athlete. I feel like his instincts pop more on defense. I feel like he was the better defender this year. I understand the argument for maybe Burries being better in the NBA than Kingston because of the size. But if you were to ask me, I would honestly probably bet on Kingston. I think Kingston's going to be like an outlier for the small guard stuff because I just think he showed a lot more like point of attack and instinctually. I mean, Burries was fine as a POA defender, but like in the game against Kansas, Arizona versus Kansas, he wasn't the guy getting the DP matchup. It was Kvarchenkov, if I'm
Marchenko,
pronouncing that right. He was the guy that got the DP assignment. So I don't know. I feel like Burries' defense has been a smidge overhyped, is my kind of concern with him.
I'm not like I don't think I mean I actually said this when Jimmy and Jay were on the pod with us. I don't think he's like a fucking Drew Holiday esque defender or anything like that by any means. Could he develop into that? Those kind of level defenders, that's something that you find out like 3 to 5 years into the league when they're already in there. It's not something you can really predict unless like I don't know, like a guy like Billy Richmond who's the next Herb Jones. I stand by it, but
I
like
wish he stayed
usually
in the draft.
that one really pissed me off. Um, oh yeah, he would have been great. But yeah, I no, you bring up a good point about the athleticism too.
Here's the other stuff. Like the lead, like Burries doesn't have to be a point guard for that pick to hit. I guess we're kind of on different pages in terms of the point guard ability, but it's fine if he's even not a point guard. But for me, like I kind of do want a point guard because some of the point guard skills like I value in terms of how they would help Cooper. I feel like Kingston would just help Cooper a lot, like play finishing and not making Cooper have to do everything on offense. I feel like I don't know, Burries the scoring potential I think is undersold. Like I feel like he could be a bucket on his own, but I don't know if he's necessarily creating for others. I don't know if he's necessarily creating even for Coop. Um, and I'm worried that like a realistic outcome for Burries is kind of just like a role player ish, like a super role player ish, maybe like a better version of Josh Hart offensively is kind of
Yeah.
like an expected outcome. Which is, I mean, if Josh Hart had that type of offensive game and all the other stuff that he does, that's like a borderline all star. So that's not a knock or anything like that, but.
No.
I just feel like Kingston has more room to grow too. Like he also had like I know you're not like the biggest analytics guy, but he had the highest box plus minus of any freshman point guard like ever. DP was the highest of any guard for a freshman, and then Kingston was even with the bad second half of the season had the highest box plus minus for any freshman point guard ever. The measurements are low, but I feel like it's like everyone was surprised that the measurements were low because like he got to so many basketballs and passing lanes and all that. And he never like was like you're never watching Kingston on defense thinking like,
Right.
oh, I wish his arms were longer. So I don't think right away he's going to be the POA guy. I don't even know if like Burries like maybe he also develops into it, but definitely like not next year. You're not asking these guys to like.
You got to get a guy in the offseason for POA. You have to.
That's how I feel too, and that's why I feel like I don't know. I don't think Burries is like. I don't want to sound negative on the dude. I feel bad, but like I don't think he's that level. And maybe he develops into it, but I didn't really like see it personally.
I will say, like, it's sort of like hitting a lottery ticket, but like, I remember watching the first game of Summer League, and everyone was like, "How the fuck is Carter Bryant this good at defense?" Like sometimes you get,
Yeah.
sometimes you really hit on that, and I mean, like, dude, the guy was getting fucking subbed in to guard Shea. He was getting subbed in to guard Jalen Brunson. Like,
I think Carter Bryant's like pre-draft profile was like a defensive stud, but like kind of a project offensively, which is why he isn't
right.
why he didn't go higher. But I mean, shoot, that's a
So
good guy to bet on, evidently.
So it seems like you and I both were like, and correct me if I'm wrong, we're both thinking like long-term wise fit. I
Yeah,
sort of want to, throw a question at you is, do you think short term that Kingston could fit well with Kyrie? Like, do you think Mavs go to the playoffs next year? Do you think they can have a closing lineup with Kingston and Kyrie? Because I think they could have a closing lineup with Kyrie and Brayden, obviously,
they
because he's
definitely
more of a
could.
two.
Yeah,
So my question to you is, Kyrie Kingston, I feel like it's sort of like in a way, not totally,
it's
but
okay.
sort of
It's tiny.
Fox
It's
Harper.
tiny.
Yeah.
It's tiny. I don't know. Like I'd be okay with Kingston coming off the bench to start the season. I don't know when he would take the keys of the car, and I think that might have to come with the Kyrie trade. But I do think there would be some minutes where the two play together, and you see Kyrie like mesh as an off-ball guy. And honestly, like that's another thing why I want like a point guard here is because I feel like Kyrie's best offensive game is when he's able to move off the ball. And we saw it with Luka Kyrie. I kind of want that similar dynamic. What
Also,
gets
I'll
kind of
stand on this.
funky,
Kyrie's an underrated defender. Like people,
yeah. I mean, yeah.
I don't think Kyrie's a bad defender whatsoever.
But my thing is, I feel like no one should factor into this draft pick besides Cooper Flag. Like I'm not factoring in
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, for sure.
Someone on I was talking on Twitter said like Najee Marshall's going to have the ball too much, and that's why we shouldn't get Kingston. I mean, no, I don't respect. No. So yeah, I am thinking more long term, which is hypocritical because I have Yaxel too high on my board. But I am thinking longer term, like 3
Is
to
he
5
top
years
6?
down the line. No, he's not top 6.
Okay.
You would have left. You would have left the stream if I said yes.
I know. I really wouldn't have. Like I do. So dude, I'm like.
And like I said, I don't know. Like I might have Yaxel higher than 9th on my board, but I also like when I'm sitting there making the decision, I don't think I would have the balls to just take him 9th. But
It's not
I
an
would
age
probably
thing
bet
for
on one of
me.
those guards.
It's
Okay,
not an
fair
age
enough.
thing for me whatsoever. It's more so just I think the Mavs need a guard. Like I do think Yaxel is easily a top 9 talent. I do.
Okay, then let me ask you this: if they got Yaxel at 9 and then got back into the draft for a Corey or Bennett Sturts or Christian Anderson, I mean, it's not like the 9th pick is the only way to get a guard in this
I
draft.
would want them to trade into the low teens to either get Phylon or Burries. I'm not okay.
Okay, fair. Okay,
I'm not a Sturts. I know you guys are Sturts guys, but I can't.
I've kind of tempered it a little bit. I'm not as crazy on Sturts anymore. I mean, he's like our age, and he's like
He's a cone.
a buck 80. I don't think he's as bad on defense as Acuff, but I don't think he's going to be a good defender in the NBA by any means. I mean, the NBA goes after the white shooters.
Corey,
I like a Corey more, and I like Christian Anderson, but I wouldn't take him like in the lottery for sure. A Corey, like he is probably I think he's 13th right now on mine. So I love a Corey.
I wonder if I don't have any intel on it, but I wonder how that Anderson workout went.
Yeah, that, and I'm sure. I mean, they're probably working out all these guards. So
yeah, 100%. You have to.
I don't. That's the other thing with the whole Burries like angling the 9 thing is like I feel like we're way too far out for any of like the promises to like happen. We have no idea who's going to be there at 9. Like I said, the only way I think that stuff is legit is if it's mutual, if it's a mutual thing, not just the Burries Paul side wanting it, is if the Mavericks think Burries is basically the best guard of all these guys, because there's scenarios any of them can make it to 9. It's not that hard. The Nets could just go Nate Amon at 6, Mara at 9, or Mara at 8 for the Hawks, and you might be having a situation where you're picking between 2 of these guys. So how can you promise the combo guard?
It's gonna
unless you think he's the best.
It's gonna be a crazy draft. You can't. Yeah, you have no idea who's gonna be available. You have no idea.
I would understand if the Mavericks took Burries over Kingston. I wouldn't be a fan of it. I would disagree with it. But I mean, like I said, Burries is going to be. I think he's going to be a good player. Here's my case for the scoring potential being underrated. Ooh. I feel like he has some underrated craft when the creation is a little bit of an issue. But if he can get to like his spots in the mid range, I feel like he has this really underrated shoulder bump where he creates space and he just gets that shot off. And if the 3-point volume goes up, if he's able to get to the rim more with more spacing, he does have to beat the guy in front of him. I think he has a higher scoring potential than what it's made out to be. So maybe I'm making the case all by myself to why he should go 9. This is a sick draft. Like, there's a lot of good players. Spoiler alert: this is a really good draft. I mean, some of these guys aren't going to hit, but like I just like a lot of players, and he's kind of like I like Yaxel a lot. I like Merez a lot. I like Burries a lot. I like Phylon a lot. I love Michael Brown. I love Kingston Flemings.
Especially the shoulder bump you were talking about. That's where I see a lot of people draw the Fox comparison. Fox does that on the video game.
Burries is the best. I think he's one of the best transition players in the draft. I mean, the draft is also littered with transition players, but AJ, Caleb, Burries, all those guys. Yaxel is also really good in transition. But Burries is up there with any of them in transition. So if you're talking about Cooper, one of the best transition players in the NBA, if not now, then will be soon. I think he kind of already is. And you pair that with Coop and Burries, and that's a lethal transition game. If you're able to get stops and run, that is a lot of your offense. The playoffs have been getting faster. It's not. I'm a big believer in half court offense, like being the biggest factor when it comes to playoff time. But the playoffs have been getting faster. Transition points do matter a lot. So,
dude, it was crazy last night how fast they were playing in the first half. It was actually insane.
Yeah.
I don't know. You might be able to fact check me on this. Was it Wagler that has like a super? I think it was Wagler. I'm pretty sure he has like a very low rim percentage.
Not low. I don't know if it's a low rim percentage. I would have to check. He had 0 dunks though.
That's crazy.
I think it's actually funny. I don't want to say this because it hurts my agenda a little bit. I think Kingston has the lowest rim percentage of these guards. I've kind of like.
I saw he had like I'm pretty sure he had like damn near like identical combine matches to Steph Curry.
Wagler's rim percentage was 57.5, which is not going to be up here with these guys. Burries and Phylon, I remember having like the best rim percentages of this kind of group.
Phylon's a fucking artist around the rim. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. Burries is 64.5
wow.
at the rim, which is great.
For a guard, oh my god.
Yeah, that's great.
Holy shit.
So if the age thing would, so I mean, you're not one of those that completely dings Yaxel for the age stuff, but
no, I'm not at all.
So it doesn't matter at all for Burries, does it?
I totally agree with you about the fact that I'm not one of these guys that are saying like it's going to take the Mavs 5 to 10 years to compete. I will stand on this right now. I think the Dallas Mavericks make a push to at least the Western Conference Finals in the next 2 to 3 years. I will stand on it. I truly believe that. I think Cooper Flag is that fucking good. And I think that you bring in a guy like Masai, he knows what he's fucking doing. I expect them to make good moves, whether it's in the draft via trade or sure, you could say free agency with the, mid-level exception. I think it's you can't predict the NBA. You can't say, okay, it's going to be OKC versus San Antonio for the next 2 to 3 years in the Western Conference.
No,
That's not
it
how
might be. It might be, but I don't think it's guaranteed, obviously.
could,
But it
yeah.
might. It fucking might be.
And I could be
their
the
cores are
GM for the
ridiculous.
Mavs. Like it's like, it's something new every year, and I think that when you have a player like Cooper Flag, a generational talent, he's going to lead you to the promised land. And if
You just have to surround it.
Yeah, I mean, Yaxel, that's the convenient part about Yax. He could be in his prime in 3 years with his age and his development that he's had already. So, like, that's why I don't dock him for, being 24 years old. I think the age stuff is really overrated.
It matters in the sense of, I mean, there's some factors that it does matter, I would say. I mean, like, for example, like, if it's like Kingston and Burries is like right here, and like one guy's like a year and a half older, I feel like that does kind of matter. But the positive for Burries, why the age doesn't matter for him as much, is that his first year of college he produced, so it's not the biggest thing in the world. Yaxel being older, his is such an outlier case to me in so many different ways. Like these older prospects don't have his physical dimensions, his basketball backs. Like how many high school and AAU games did you play in high school? A lot, right?
A lot.
Triple digits.
Yeah, easily.
Yaxel played 11.
What?
He played 11. He didn't play AAU ball. He got kicked off of his freshman team for grades. Wasn't eligible to play his sophomore or junior year because of grades. He played senior year. He played 11 games of senior year. That's a lot of basketball you're missing out on. When I read up on that, that was like, okay, I can talk myself into Yaxel a little bit. The junior college stuff was basically his high school experience. Like he had to go through junior college. He played well at UAB. Funny enough, when Cooper was in college, there were 2 players in college basketball that led their team in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. Cooper Flag, Yaxel Lindeberg. Yaxel the year after, he probably could have gone first round this last draft. Maybe didn't get the promise, but also the NIL bag money is like basically better than first round money in a lot of cases. So he went to Michigan, played like a completely different role, played like a 3-and-D like wing type, guarding ball handlers every night. That's not even going to be his best role in the NBA, I would don't think. And he flourished. Granted, he was older than everyone he was going against, and I think that dings him. Like, if Yaxel was 19, if you could play this game, and Yaxel was 19, I would think he's the 4th best prospect in this draft, even ahead of Caleb. But you can't play that game. He is 24, or he's about to be 24. But I think he's like, you getting a player that's like 6'10", that length, able to do all those different things on the floor. My one on-court concern with him is the creation. I don't know how much of a creator he's going to be. And then defensively, I don't know if he's going to – I mean, just being able to stay with all these guards like he kind of did in college, I don't think he'll be able to do that. And I don't have a concern with the three-point shot. Some people do, but I think it's a legit three-point shot. So that's –
with the three-point shot. I have a concern with the creation. That's I said it on the last pod too. No Ceilings does a great job with their film. I watch a lot of their film on YouTube. Yaxel is a very hesitant three-point shooter off the dribble. Again, that's something that you can develop when you go into the pros, but that's sometimes something that you can't develop. So
off the dribble for sure. Catch and shoot, I think he's going to let it rip.
For sure, yeah. I mean, I think he's an excel.
You know what's actually crazy is I think Yaxel had a higher 3-point rate, like in terms of how many of his shots were threes. Like Yaxel's was 46.3. I think his 3-point rate was literally higher than Burries this year, which is pretty crazy. Like, Yaxel's was 46 and Burries was like 41.8. Just to kind of like, I'm not saying Yaxel's a better shooter than Burries, but like
Michigan was also
Yaxel got him up.
They were able to put Michigan played a lot of 5-out offense, which helped.
Outside of when Mara was off the floor, they for sure did. They were pretty, yeah. I mean, that's a nice transition. Michigan.
Ooh.
Let's talk. I mean, we've talked a lot about. We probably went too much into the.
Can I say something first? Do you mind if
Go for it?
I am. This ties into the head coach rumors. Get a fucking head coach, man. Like I'm so like, I was ecstatic about the Messiah hire. I still am, but. I mean, Stein comes out reporting that there's like a dozen or so fucking candidates. We are 2.5 weeks away from selecting a guy that you want to pair with Cooper Flag, and you don't have a fucking coach. to help you with that pick. Like, you don't even know what kind of system that fucking coach wants to have. I'm sorry, but it's like, it is very agitating to me. You know what? I would place a bet right now. They're not going to have a coach on draft night.
Ooh, interesting.
You think you could get through a dozen candidates in 2.5 weeks and slowly start eliminating them that fast? I just don't. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I see. I saw they weren't able to do the Sweeney interview, but I think it's ridiculous that they didn't start this process immediately. It seems like, in my opinion,
The
again,
Sweeney thing, I don't hold them against them because
yeah,
it was just too late in the process after they fired Kidd, and they were probably Sweeney was going to go to Orlando. I don't know how I feel. Like I would like them to have a coach before the draft for sure. I would like them to know what kind of system we're running, but at the same time, like I don't think it's the end of the world to me if like Masai and Mike are just like the main decision makers on the draft, and they know what they want in a coach and what type of, I guess, yeah, you're skeptical, but if they know what type of like system they want and what type of traits they want in a coach, and they like slow play it, and I don't know, I feel like this job is going to be able to attract any name. I think the college basketball
yeah.
stuff is legit. I feel like they should be going after those big fishes in college basketball. If it takes a while, and so be it. Hopefully, it is done before the draft, and it would help them to have a coach in place
I
to
just
go
don't
through
want
these draft
Shire.
interviews. I don't want Shire either personally. I mean, I think he's a good coach, but back-to-back seasons where your team literally ends their season because they blew double digits leads and it was an embarrassing fashion both times.
Dusty or Dan?
Not a good sign.
Dusty.
I'm a fan of Dusty May, like a huge fan of Dusty May. Dan Hurley, I don't know how he'd do in the NBA, but it
Oh,
doesn't seem like
I think he's like a improved JJ Redick. I think he would do really good.
I feel like he's way more psycho than Red. I'm scared that
Exactly.
he's gonna get off like a bad loss on a Wednesday night to the Hornets, and he's just gonna crash out at some innocent reporter in the post game presser. Like you lose a lot more. You lose a lot more in the NBA than you do in college. He doesn't handle losing at all.
Just
Um,
don't do it to Noah Weber. That's my guy.
um, so I don't think. I mean, from the two college guys that they. Let me pull up your tweet real quick.
Don't forget Don Staley.
They didn't. The two college names that were on there were. Let me look.
I think it
Let me
was
just read out the
Dusty.
tweet.
Yeah.
It remains to be seen whether Duke's John Shire or Michigan's Dusty May reached full-fledged candidate status with Dallas, since both are so entrenched with their universities. But league sources tell the Steinline that there has been exploratory conversation with both college titans to try to determine if there's any interest. And then I'll just zoom to the back end of the tweet, back half of the tweet. The other names on there are Minnesota's Micah Nori, who's probably one of the more popular assistant coaches for head coach candidates out there. Houston's Royal Ivy, Toronto's Jamal Mahalela. I'll get that name right if you're hired. Boston's Tony Dobbins and Miami consultant Noah LaRoche. Um, so it was nice to, I guess, to get some it was nice to get some buzz from this morning's Steinline in terms of like what type of guy they could go after. But I guess we're both kind of in agreement. Dusty May would be the guy. Why would Dusty May be your first choice?
I think you saw his tweet. I played against Dusty in college, so like that would be my flex to everyone. No, I'm kidding. But no, just I mean, sort of like, not to get like personal or anything, but it was like really cool. So like, just like a quick background story, not to get too off topic, but I went to like a smaller Division 2 school, and FAU was right across the street from us. Dusty is like an icon in Boca Raton, Florida. Um,
Really?
yeah, like
Did he
everyone.
make the Final Four with FAU or like an Elite
I
Eight?
lost to the FAU that year by 25 points. We played FAU in an exhibition at the beginning of the year. We lost by like 25 points. It was ridiculous. I mean, our big man was like 6'9". He was going against Vlad Golden, who's on the Heat now. It was like he transferred to Michigan with Dusty. But like, the development that Dusty made with FAU, like, they were a nobody before he got there. He put them on the map. They went to the Final Four. He excelled with FAU, got the job at Michigan, and just won them a national championship. Um, he is a player's coach. I know a few. I'm buddies with a few of the players that were on that Final Four team at FAU. Nothing but great words they say about Dusty. He's a player's coach. Everyone I've spoken to in that FAU program it's always been very positive words. Um, like this is the kind of guy that you want around a young core as well. Something that I spoke about on last pod, and I think
You
we're
can't do
adapting.
the Terry. You can't do Terry Stotts.
You can't, but this was going to be my next question for you. Seeing how the Knicks are doing, with Mike Brown as the head coach, does this sort of change your opinion on, coaches struggling in the past with poor teams getting fired and then being rehired and, sort of changing the spectrum when they actually do have a good roster around them? So it's like, do you have interest in those kind of coaches after seeing what Mike Brown just did?
It's a case by case situation. Like I
Yeah.
always thought, I liked the Mike Brown hire for the Knicks. I don't think he got like a fair shake in Sacramento. He took the Sacramento Kings to the playoffs. Like that's basically winning an NBA championship in the NBA. Like he's been a good coach, and he's done great stuff this year with the Knicks. I mean, think about the development Carl Towns has made as like a playmaker. Like he's completely
Yeah.
changed how he
Crazy.
is as an offensive player. Like Cat's almost like 30 or past 30, but he's still like getting that out of his players. Like I've been a fan of Mike Brown. I mean, I didn't think he was going to lead the Knicks to the finals because I didn't think they were going to go to the finals, but always thought he was a good coach. So it's a case by case situation. Like it depends on who the retread hire is. Like I don't think I would do Vogel. Um, I'm kind of just into like I kind of want like the younger coach, offensive whiz kid, and like or like
Yeah.
Dusty May. Like what Dusty May did this year, I tweeted this out. Like before the year, Yaxel Mara and Morez Johnson were not on any preseason mock drafts in the lottery. Like none of them. In a couple weeks, all three of those guys might get drafted in the lottery, and that a lot of that goes to the credit that Dusty May did with developing those guys. Mara especially developed into a hell of a center under Dusty May that he was not showing at UCLA. Morez Johnson, same kind of thing. Like he was not this at Illinois. Yeah, Axel kind of changed his game into like a versatile, like basically like played like a wing, even though he's going to be like a big in the NBA type. So
So I want to piggyback off that. And again, like I'm like genuinely not trying to get personal with it or anything, but Dusty May knows how to develop forwards and bigs. Um, I have
interesting.
I have seen it like very close up. Um, Vlad Golden was a nobody before FAU. Went to FAU, had a phenomenal year at FAU. Was the cornerstone in my opinion. Obviously their guard talent was great at FAU, but Vlad was, I mean, did everything for FAU to get them to the Final Four, and it translated the next year when he had that front court pairing with Danny Wolf. Um, so I mean, and to piggyback right off that, like Danny went from Yale to Michigan and had a great year at Michigan as well. And he got drafted in the first round. Um,
Probably too high.
Probably too high. Yeah, probably. But
But he was an interesting. He was a pretty interesting prospect, and he still
he
is an
was.
interesting NBA player with what he can do.
And I've seen it. I've seen it with a few different guys at FAU that have just developed. Like I mean, Brendan Lawrence, another guy, lower prospect. I mean, who actually I've had heard that he might be doing a workout with Dallas. But went from FAU to being a great player at West Virginia this year. 6'9" kid, power forward, and just thrives in Dusty May's system. And if the Mavs are really looking, this is why I was sort of sparked by Dusty May being the coach, is because who loves having big rosters, tall players? Masai Ujiri. Who's great at coaching big players? Dusty May. Who develops big players? Mara, Golden. The list goes on. And so I just think it's such a great fit. It hurts me because, like, as a kid growing up, still am diehard Ohio State Buckeye fan. Seeing a Michigan coach my NBA team would break my heart a little bit, but Dusty's a great guy, and I think I would prefer that hire over Dan Hurley or John Shire.
Oh, easily for me. Comment from Jamie Cardona: Mavs need a player development coach since they should be getting younger. Winning games is second to Coop, and number 9 becoming All Star. I think that's a good take. I think player development is kind of the under talked about stuff that goes on in the NBA. Some of these prospects are going to pan out based on where they get drafted to in some ways, and a lot of that has to do with the development. Development's a huge
Yeah.
variable in how how these players' careers pan out. Even think about even Cooper. Cooper made a ridiculous development like path this year. Like the Jason Kidd putting him in point guard stuff was like ridiculous at the time. But
Shout
damn,
out Mike
Cooper,
Pemberton.
shout out Mike Penberthy. Coop made like a huge development this year in terms of on ball creation. And I mean, I thought he was an underrated playmaker at Duke too, but like you
Yeah.
got to see more of that this year. I think Cooper could be a 7, maybe 8 if we're lucky type of assist per game type of guy. I think he's that good of a playmaker. Depends on who's surrounding him, obviously, but yeah, the development factor is huge. I like an offensive X's and O's guy because I don't think we got that with Jason Kidd at all. And with Rick Carlisle, we had like one of the best the game has ever seen in that department. So it was like a
Yeah.
drastic drop off. I know it didn't matter because we just had Luca doing Luca stuff, but I mean, now that he's not here, then I would like that. But player development is probably my number one like trait that I would want in this coach. I also want like a good like leader, like a guy that's like at the press conference and like actually like like the Jason Kidd stuff we talked about on that one stream. Like
Not
he
a
just didn't
pussy.
he didn't Jason Kidd did come off as like an inspiring leader. Not that that's everything into a head coach role, but like it's part of it. And I mean, it's a big difference between Nico and Masai that we've seen already. Besides the basketball acumen, like how they are in press conferences
Yeah.
strikes different confidence in you as a fan. So yeah, I would like. I mean, Dusty May would be awesome. I don't know how realistic it is. They just won the championship. Michigan has as big of a budget in college sports
I think he
as
just got
anyone could
paid that
ask for.
season, no?
I think he did. I think I saw Isaac Harris of Locked On Mavs tweet out that Dusty hasn't signed it technically. So I don't know if that means. Mark Stein also said today on the DLLS show that Dusty May does have aspirations of coaching in the NBA, but they don't know if that's like now, like 5 years down the line, or what
I
that
heard
is. So
Orlando was interested in him.
in Dusty May.
Yeah.
So like, dude, here's my pitch to Dusty May. There's one job in the NBA that has Cooper Flag. That these kind of jobs don't open up often. Like the Spurs job's not opening. The Spurs job isn't going to open up anytime soon. Whatever other young prodigy you want to put up, this is like a rare opportunity to strike. If you want this gig, come coach Cooper Flag. Come develop Derek Lively. I'm curious if Dusty May got hired before the draft, would they have to go Michigan guy?
I gotta that was my fucking theory. Are you going Yaxel at 9 if you hire Dusty? Holy shit. That would be a fucking story. That would be crazy.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that until just now. If they hired Dusty May before the draft, would they? I don't think they would be forced to. I still think they'd be fine. I mean, I can't think. I'm trying to think of like I feel like it happens with football sometimes. Like with Jim Harbaugh, for example, like when he went to the Chargers for Michigan, they didn't just draft every Michigan player.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The Michigan guys are all worthy of going in that range,
Yeah,
so I don't think it shouldn't be ruled out.
I remember seeing that tweet. It was like it was during the Final Four. And Elliot Cadeau was like, he was talking about how it's an honor to play with 3 lottery picks, and like he was just getting trolled because no one at
Was
the
he
time.
really?
Yeah, I did not think all those 3 guys were going to be lottery picks at the time. I thought Yaxel was going to be. I did not. I don't think anyone had Mara in top 10.
Mara was top 10 on some of the nerdier draft boards, like in January, February.
Before they won the national championship. Really?
Yep.
I didn't see
like our guy Muhammad that's on the show sometimes. Like he was a big believer in Mara. I have some concerns with Mara still. Like I don't know, the rebounding is kind of iffy for like a big guy.
Yeah.
I still think he needs to develop his body, but I mean, I think he's worthy of going top 10 for sure. I've kind of tempered on if the Mavericks should take him at 9, but just because like I don't know, kind of want to run out that ground ball with Derek Lively and see where it goes. Because if you do draft Mara and Lively's healthy, it is a good problem to have of 48 minutes of insane rim protection. That does kind of appeal to me. But they have found ways to get centers in cheaper ways that I don't know if they could do that via guard or wing. Like those are harder positions, I guess. But it also is hard to find like a 7'4" defensive anchor that can pass too. So it goes kind of both ways. I would understand the pick if they did it. I probably wouldn't do it, but yeah. A lot of stuff going on, man.
You can have the rim protection with Lively and Musa.
In a way, but yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, if Lively is hurt again, hopefully that doesn't happen, and they passed on Mara because of Lively, and Mara turns out to a good player, then that's going to give you some regret.
Does Derek Lively play back-to-backs next season?
That's another good point. I don't know if he is. I don't even know how many minutes per game he would play, even when he is healthy in that aspect. Like, we would always get on Jason Kidd for not playing Derek Lively more, but I guess in hindsight, they kind of managed the minutes right with Gafford and Lively to where Lively probably can't play 30+ minutes a night until for a while, if that. So you kind of have to ease him into it. So there's a lot of different fun draft discussions here. I mean, I think a lot of us are in line that if like Michael is there at 9, that's like
Yeah.
you sprint to the podium and do it, which is why I hope they haven't promised anything to Brayden Burries because you just don't know how it's going to get there.
I don't think there's. I also don't think a few
I don't
people.
buy now that I'm thinking about it. I think the Burries Paul camp wants to get to Dallas, but I don't think
Yeah,
it's necessarily like confirmed that the Mavs are doing that yet. It's too far out, and you don't know how the draft's going to go.
exactly. I mean, you also like never know. Like, I, it's pretty rare that like from what we've seen in years past, like front offices are already talking like having trade talk about like moving up or down in the draft. Like, I feel like that's something that you sort of do like a week out from it. Um, I personally think like it's too soon to see like where players are going to go. It's too soon to make promises. You never know what team is going to, there could be a scenario where the Hawks trade back because they think, Mara is going to be available at 10 or 11 or something like that. Just giving an example, but you know, I think, we're would you say 18, 19 days away from it.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah, you can't predict it. Um,
If you were to guess who the Mavericks pick will be, you know what? Let's do a draft simulator for fun. Fuck it.
oh yeah, let's do it.
Damn, it's more fun when you can spin the lottery. Honestly, all right, it's all good. Should we draft for all teams and guess it, or do you want to just do the Mavs and like let it play
Ah,
out?
let's draft for all. Fuck it.
All right. Number 1, AJ.
Ooh, you don't want to take AJ, do you?
I mean, I wouldn't take AJ, but we're doing a predictive, not what we do.
I wouldn't take
Uh,
AJ. I mean, I would take Darren, but I feel like AJ is probably going to go one.
so you're back to Darren, number 1.
I you and Jay have persuaded me a lot.
But I think Jay flip flops. A lot of there's been a lot of flip flopping on these top 3. I feel
I
like,
don't
but
think Booster's top one. I'm sorry.
that's fair. To me, the decision is between DP and Boozer, but
I
AJ's
think
within that
DP.
top 3.
I think DP would be awesome in Washington, but yeah. I mean, I
Who do you
think
think? Well, who do you think the Wizards would take? Not what would you do?
AJ.
Who do you?
Yeah, I
Okay,
think they'll
so let's
take
go
AJ.
AJ, Utah, DP.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right.
is that like
So
for sure? Like, do you
too
like?
late. The card's already written.
Okay. Like, do you think? I don't know. Do you think like Carlos Booster is gonna have like a big role in Cam?
You know, when the lottery happened, I really was like sure that Cam Boozer was going too. But like every mock since then from like the bigger publications have had DP number 2. So um yeah, I don't know. I think I think it's more of a split consensus on who's the number 1 player on some of these teams' boards, like across the league personally. Like I think there's gonna be some analytics teams like Oklahoma City or Memphis, for example. Funny enough, they get Boozer here anyway. I think I'll
And
have Cameron Boozer number 1 because some of these teams go strictly off the analytics draft model. And
Carlos did play for Chicago.
uh Chicago number 4. Dude, I don't know. This is like Sharpie, the most common, like Caleb Wilson number 4 to the Bulls, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone upsets there. Um,
I would
yeah,
be
maybe
shocked.
this draft does just go chalk. Clippers number 5. Who do you think they go?
I mean, I feel like if you wanted to, not take any risks, like in regards to us doing the draft, I think you would go Wagler. Do I think that's a definitive no? Um, but yeah, I think the Clippers go Wagler here.
Man, there's a lot of. I mean, the draft kind of starts at 5 for a lot of people, and I don't know which way they're going.
Do you agree with that
Brooke,
or no?
I ultimately think the Clippers are going to go Michael Brown at number 5, but I already did Wagler, so we'll go with Wagler. I do
Wow, you
think that
think they're
Michael
going
goes
Mike at
5.
5?
I kind of think they'll figure out the Garland stuff later. I just think Mike. I mean, when you work out a Michael Brown and a Wagler, it's just like complete stratosphere apart from how these guys look in workouts.
I
Wagler might
think
shoot the piss out of the ball. Michael's going to shoot the piss out of the ball and do like crazy dunks and stuff that Wagler could only dream of doing in like 2K. So I could see like Michael just completely blowing him out of the water in terms of the draft workouts. But I don't know how it's going to go. I think Michael will go 5 though, but for this we'll go Wagler 5.
I think
Six Brooklyn
the
Nets.
Clippers. I think the Clippers are too stupid to think about the Garland scenario. I think they're going to prioritize Garland because they just acquired a younger guard. Um, and I think Wagler fits more than Michael. That's my mindset there. That's why I said Wagler. Um,
Number 6 Brooklyn. I know what I want them to do. I'm
we
gonna say
all
that on
know
every.
we all have the same hope. I mean, I feel like it would be the most Brooklyn thing to take him too. Like I, that's such a like a Brooklyn
So
net
you
thing.
think that you think they take Nate Amen?
I think it's like a very like serious possibility. I
We're
mean,
19 days out. This is gonna change a lot. So just kind of gut feeling what you think today.
gut
Nate Amen.
feeling how stupid the Nets are in the lottery. Yeah, I would go amen. Yeah,
All right, let's go Amen. Number 7 Sacramento Kings.
you got
Right
that one. Yeah, you got that one. This is where it
now,
gets interesting. I
this
don't
is
think
where I'm
it's
gonna get pissed
definitive.
off about that coin flip, man. This is where I'm gonna get
Yeah.
ticked off about that coin flip because I think this is between.
See, you get pissed off about the coin flip. I get pissed off about Chris Middleton.
Well, that too, that too. If Chris Middleton is not back on the Mavericks and he's like visiting, I wonder if he gets booed from the diehard Mavericks fans that are in the building. Probably not,
I'll
because
have I'll have someone FaceTime me and I'll boo through the phone.
poor. He should have just been bought out at the end of the day, but it is
Is
what
he?
it is at
Do you
this
think
point.
there's any chance of him being back?
I could. It's tough, I guess, with a different front office. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if
You
it's like a cheap, one of the last roster spots type deal.
also
But
not to get off topic, but have you heard anything about Finley?
it sounds like I think Cuban pushed hard for him to stay.
He
Not that
did.
that matters in a short phone call with Masai. I think Finley will ultimately find some sort of role within the franchise, but I haven't heard anything. No. Number 8. Where do we think the Hawks are going? I hope it's Mara.
I mean, like
I could see it. I could also see it being Mara because
Mara makes
here's the
sense
thing.
because Okongwu has like he's actually been shooting the three ball very well. Like
Yes, and
if
he's
they
kind of a tween. He's kind of smaller for a center. He's kind of in that tweener role. They don't have
yeah.
that legit 5. Quinn Snyder has the Rudy Gobert factor, who we coached up in Utah.
So
Um,
my
so I'm
only
hoping
thing
it's
is
Mara.
that in my opinion, I think Jalen Johnson is a better forward than a 3. So it's like
Oh, definitely agree. I mean, he was a
so it's
traffic
like
cone at the 3 this year, so
yeah. So like that's my only thing
that
is
is
like
interesting. Yeah, I
if
didn't
you
think about that.
so if you factor that, it's like I don't know. I think they go Mara. Like you said,
All right,
I
let's go
mean,
Mara.
yeah, I think you take the best player on the board. If this yeah, exactly. Yeah,
All right, let's go Michael.
100%. But are we being
What if we promise Brayden Burries? We better fucking not have, man.
that shit will
We
piss me
better
off.
not have.
I will fucking
Unless we better not have.
I will
Burries is going to be good. I'm not going to be pissed that he's a Maverick, but we just better not have promised anything. Is all I'll
live
say.
stream heard it here first. If the Mavs take Burries while Michael's on the board, I will not be tweeting for a week.
It might happen.
I would be so livid. I would be so fucking pissed off, man.
I do think Michael Brown is a guy that Schmitz is going to love personally. I mean, Schmitz in that LaMelo Anthony Edwards draft had LaMelo Ball number 1, and obviously he wasn't necessarily correct about it, but that's just the type of players that he loves.
Yeah.
And Michael to me gives me a lot of LaMelo vibes, just like in different areas. Got to clean out the decision making, but to me, I mean, I think he's the 5th best prospect in the draft.
Are we making a bias mock right now?
a little bit, but it wasn't my plan. I mean, it's just like what we think is going to happen.
But
I
it's
mean, I also said
realistic. Like it's
it
realistic.
is
Like
realistic.
Wagler, like that, like I I would say it's like 60-40 odds for Wagler and Michael. I don't think Brooklyn is going to want Michael. I think Sacramento, like you said, is they're already printing the ACUF jerseys. I think the two shakiest ones are in regards to Michael. It's going to be Los Angeles and I don't even know.
Yeah, man, I think the Clippers are going to take Michael at 5 personally, man. The whole workout thing is kind of weighing in my head. I just like Michael is going to be so much more impressive in a workout than Wagler. Like he just is. This year in college, Wagler was better, but like at the same time, there's a reason Michael gets talked about in into that. So I don't think Michael is going to be there, but it did work out like that. And if Michael goes 5, there's also a scenario where Wagler falls to 9. So I mean, there's some positive scenarios here. So
Yeah.
once again, Masai Ujiri, I really hope you didn't promise anything.
That would be a bad start to your Mavericks tenure.
I don't want to pick the whole thing, but I just want to skip to 30. Let's do this. I'll reset it. I'll just pick for the Mavericks. Let's see what they do for us. Damn it. Oh boy.
This is just not going to happen, though. I disagree with it.
No, it wouldn't.
But
No,
they,
it wouldn't- it
they
wouldn't
set us
happen.
up. They set us up because they want us
I
to
know. They
debate
set
right
us
now.
up. They set us up. They set us up. It's your show. You're the guest. I'm going to be a polite host. So if you want
Okay.
Burries here, I'll go Burries. You know who I'm picking.
Yeah, no.
But you're the guest. I'm a polite
This is
host.
the only thing I'm going to say. One, I'm not 100% set on it. I'm not. What I will say is if now this is where you have to agree with me here. If they're already talking about promises being made, I think they go Burries over Kingston. I don't think Kingston's in that Michael tier.
I don't even think it'd be a promise thing. I could see a scenario where they might prefer Burries over Kingston just because of the size stuff. But damn, I would just disagree with it. That's all. I would just disagree with it. But I'm okay. I'll live. I'll still be watching every game. We'll go Burries. Kingston fell to Oklahoma City. Are you happy, Mason? Look at what you did. Look at this. Look at this. Are you happy?
Mara 14? What is this mock, bro?
Yeah, this draft is a little. I mean, the simulator does what the simulator does. Who else?
Yeah, Axel to Milwaukee. That's awful.
Yeah, there's no way Mara's going to 14. And also, the Kings are not taking Nate Amon over Darius Acuff, or I don't even know.
Where did Acuff go? 8? Is Christian Anderson available? Oh. Kopi. Ooh, this is. Take the hometown kid. Take the hometown kid. That would be my thing. I've heard a lot of I forgot who tweeted it, but like a pretty big draft guy tweeted it. Like the Zuby comp I've been seeing a lot lately is Colin Murray Boyles.
Wow.
You don't like it?
It's a little optimistic just because, I mean, CMB went top 10 in his draft and Zuby's like close to 30, but damn, they're
like more like
body wise. I feel like CMB was also a better playmaker. I mean, Zuby did improve as a playmaker this past year. I like Zuby a lot. I like Jefferson a lot too. So it'd be between those two guys.
I'm not a Reed guy. I don't think we need.
I like Reed, but not as much as these other two guys. Zuby can play with. Zuby's pretty interesting. And I feel like he's going to maximize his talent.
Baba Miller's been getting a lot of buzz lately.
Yeah, Baba Miller is pretty interesting too.
And I just want to say, he went to FAU.
Baba Miller did.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's go Zuby here because I think that's what the Mavericks would do.
I think it would be.
And we'll do one last mock.
Let's do it.
We'll do the 12 and 17.
I think
I did a crazy one with Roby the other day where I traded like every vet outside of Kyrie for first round picks and drafted like
it would give Masai some. It would give some brownie points to Masai too if he took a hometown kid in the draft. This is actually. Who'd you take?
I just kind of just picked. Yeah, I would maybe go Uzin or Gillespie. No, I probably would go Gillespie now that because we didn't take a point guard at 9. Let's do one last one. You want to do a crazy? You want to do a crazy trade the vets one, or do you want to do just the 12-17?
I think 12-17 is the most talked about. We can do that.
But the thing, okay, I'm gonna keep doing it until like it gets to like we'll say like Burries is the best player, then I'll trade back. But if it's like a guard, then I'll restart it. If that makes sense. Oh boy. Darius Acuff got it.
Yeah, I would. This is like where I would get Sam Presti on the phone, I think.
Would Presti want Acuff?
I don't think Presti would want Acuff. I think he would want to solidify getting Yaxel.
I don't know if ESPN's going to make them take. I'm going to fleece Oklahoma City for that pick, so that part of the draft's more fun.
I mean, I think this is actually realistic, though.
I think they would go Mara for sure here. Yeah, I mean,
You think they would go
just
Mara?
for I don't think they'll give us this, but I just kind of want that one back.
Wait, why would they go?
They're not doing probably not that. I'll just do. Yeah,
Well, why would they go Mara? I mean,
You think they would go Yaxel?
okay. So this is my only thing. I feel like, so I used to like do articles every once in a while for the Smoking Cuban back in the day. I was a
Okay.
massive Thomas Sorber guy. People forget that he's on that OKC bench. And they have 4 legit bigs. I mean, Chet, Hardenstein, Jalen Williams, and Sorber. I don't think they would add a 5th because I think Sorber, like,
Interesting.
I think he's going to shock people.
But then would Oklahoma City even trade up then if because it sounds like Mara would be the
Yaxel.
guy that they would trade up, and I feel like Yaxel has a chance of getting to 12. But I'm scared that ESPN's just going to take Acuff here. We'll see. That is hilarious. I knew they would.
It just doesn't make any sense with AJ Mitchell.
They wouldn't do that. But ESPN is blessing us today. There's no chance Acuff's wearing an Oklahoma City Thunder jersey.
Do you go? Ooh, fuck. I don't know.
There's 3 guys here that it would be kind of in debate for me. I'm curious who's the debate for you?
I know. I feel like I know who your 3rd guy is. Actually, I don't know for sure. Okay, so I know obviously Yaxel and Phylon.
For sure, and I'd be happy with either.
Oh man, I'm gonna take a guess at your 3rd guy. I was originally gonna say Merez, but I think you're a Cameron Carr guy.
I'm actually a little bit lower on Cameron Carr, to be honest with you, but I do see the ability with him for sure.
Was it Merez?
It was Merez, but for me, like Yaxel and Phylon would be kind of the debate, and then I think I would. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I'm curious to see what
This
ESPN
is tough.
does here. I'm curious to see what ESPN does here. Yeah, no, Phylon wouldn't be available at 7. I would be fucking shocked.
I think we got to go Phylon, man. It's too much aura.
You have to. Yeah. It's through the roof.
Yaxel, get to us. Damn it. Nate.
I think they would do this, though. I do.
Do you think they would take Nate? I do too. Kind of think they would take Nate.
Honestly,
I'm gonna name every wing on here that I like more than Nate.
Would you hate it?
Ready?
Would you hate it at 17?
At 17, I don't think I would hate it, but I will say I like Swain more. I like Swain more. I think I like Graves more.
I like Christian
and I mean, there's a lot of like Amon to me is like in the 20s, but I think the NBA is obviously going to be higher than him. And I hope he pans out and proves me wrong because he does seem like a nice kid and all that. But you see AJ's interview today where he said the 2 players that he thinks will pan out in this draft are Darren Peterson and Nate Amon.
I saw that. Yeah,
I know what to think of that.
Those are the players that are going to be there in the next 10 to 12 years. He also, was saying that he needs Trae Young's jersey number, which I thought was ridiculous.
Dude, I'm looking at this man, and I want to go Swain or Graves. I don't think I would take Amon.
I'm not as big of a Swain guy as most people.
Okay.
I think it's just.
I don't think they would take
shooting
Graves.
Form is so ugly.
It is bad. He can create on. I mean,
you wouldn't consider Christian Anderson here?
It's tough to pair up Phylon with Anderson to me, and I personally do like Bennett Sturts more than. I mean, I like Corey more than. I didn't even realize Corey was there. I like Corey more than all the other guards there, but I wouldn't double up Corey Phylon probably.
I would take Graves. By the way, I think Kareem Lopez is going to be a fleece for someone. I think he's literally. I mean, not for Dallas. I don't want him in Dallas, but I mean, I think he's an Avdia clone.
You think they would take Nate? Who do you think they would take? Let's do who we think they would take.
Nate or Graves. I don't think they take 2. I don't think they take 2 guards.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Nate.
I wouldn't. See, I wouldn't complain.
Would you be mad at Kareem Lopez here?
I mean, I wouldn't be mad. It wouldn't be my first option. I think, like I said, I think Lopez is going to be a good NBA player. He can't really shoot, but I mean, if you talk about players that can really get to the basket.
That was what I think the Mavericks are going to do. Who the hell is BJ Edwards? And we also got Christian Anderson to fall to 30 somehow.
BJ Edwards is a stud, brother.
Is he going first round?
I don't know about first round, but he's a stud.
That's the first time I've seen him in the first round. Maybe I need to dig up
Bizarre's
my-
in, okay. You have to go Christian Harrison here.
Yeah, that's kind of easy. We also got 30.
I feel
Oh,
like
that was
this is
easy.
a very unrealistic draft.
A lot of our simulations today have been a little unrealistic, but it's okay. You like Reed or Miller more?
Dude, I'm pretty sure like Baba's wingspan is insane. I have to look it up real quick.
Baba Miller.
Baba Miller's wingspan. Oh, it's actually not that crazy. 7 1
I think I would take Terrace Reed here.
I mean, he is a scoring machine in the paint. Wow, Terrace Reed's wingspan is 7'4.5".
Oh,
Holy
Masai.
shit.
Oh, Masai.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was fun. Maybe not what's going to happen in 19 days.
Let's do a
Let's do
worst
one
case
more?
scenario. A worst case scenario. We stay at pick 9.
Let's do worst case scenario for pick 9. All right. This part doesn't really matter to us. Okay, worst case scenario, Michael's gone. Our worst case scenario would not have the Nets taking Ament. So let's say Wagler.
Would they take Wagler? I don't think they would take Wagler though. I mean, considering they have Igor. I don't know. This Nets pick is tricky, man.
It is pretty tricky. That's why I think that's a bigger. I think there's a chance to go Ament or Mara. I really do.
I could see Mara. Let's go Wagler. Let's see.
I'm trying to make it like worst case for us.
Yeah. Acuff.
We got a debate on what the worst case is here.
Yeah, I think worse. I think the Mavs are going to be higher on Burries than anyone else. I think worst case would be Kingston going, not for Dallas, but
worst case for Dallas would be Burries going here, and at that point you kind of go Kingston. So it's just kind of like those.
And I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain if it's in Kingston. Yeah. I mean, I guess up to you. Yeah, I would go Brayden then.
I think they're good. I think they'd go Mara there, and I'm just gonna. So it would just turn into the same debate. That's what I think draft night. Yeah, I do think draft night comes down to is between Kingston and Burries, and that'll be interesting. That will be interesting.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think. I don't know. See who do we take at 30? Or who could we get at 30?
All right, I'm gonna try to do this quickly, just kind of guess.
God, I would be so pissed off. Ooh.
This is hard to just guess. I'm trying to do it quickly. Who did the Grizzlies take? Boozer? Bro, Oklahoma City's getting 2 good players, which is probably why we should try to get 12 and 17.
Steinbach's gonna be so good, man. Who cares?
I'm just guessing.
That's such an OKC pick.
Yeah, I agree. I could see them. I could see Graves going that high too, and I could see him even going higher. Maybe I don't know how. Like Grizzlies at 16, I could see them going Graves.
Dude, I saw one of those draft guys on Twitter put Graves at 3.
Yeah, sometimes it gets a little ridiculous. I like Allen Graves a lot, but I don't get number 3 in the whole draft and this draft. Hell no. Maybe the Zachary Risacher draft, but even then, Toronto. I still have a Corey like just on the board, and that's his 4.
I don't think he's there. I think he could be there at 30. I really do. And I would,
Kobe Pete?
yeah, and I would take him.
I would take him at 32. I mean, all these guys I would take at
Yeah,
30.
I would take him in at 17. I would take Koa at 23. Or I mean 30. Malik Thomas would be awesome at 30.
I agree. Big. I'm big on Malik Thomas. Probably going to be earlier in the 20s for me, like on my personal board. I feel like whenever A Cup was off the floor, he did well, and I don't think he got to show like exactly all the stuff he could do offensively because of the A Cup scenario.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think Zuby will be there at 30. It's unfortunate. I saw a Mavs fan think that the Mavs got the 28th pick since OKC got eliminated early. But
All right. Well, we did. That's enough for that.
yeah,
That was fun. It's fun
was.
exercise. I'm doing that a lot before the draft.
Yeah, so I mean, Center Burries probably.
That's what it's looking like. And if Burries actually isn't working out for these teams ahead of us, then how? Because I was thinking like there's a chance that Burries isn't even going to be there at 9. Like Atlanta, to me, kind of makes sense as a Burries team just because we saw what CJ McCollum did for that team, and that's why I could see them going lead guard.
Kingston would be really cool in Atlanta, I think.
He'd be cooler in Dallas, but yeah. Be cooler in Dallas. So yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like I have Yaxel, I don't know, kind of in that Burries Phylon tier. I don't think the Mavericks will go there at 9 because if we just do the exercise like a guard's usually there, you know. Like it just takes Mara or Amon going 5 through 8, and a guard's there, like a point guard's there. And even if all the point guards go, then I think that they would go Burries over anyone else there. So I don't really see Axel at 9 scenario unless they, I don't know, maybe they're just enamored and with the size, and Masai is enamored with the wing size and doesn't think that they'll be able to get a wing like that. Like that's that's a tough type of archetype to find, and the 9th pick might be your best shot at it. So that's like why I see that. But I think they will go guard. Did you see they asked Mark Cuban about Dumont and his relationship, and Cuban said that Dumont was saying that we should go point guard, and then Cuban was like best player available. But I thought that was interesting that Dumont was like, "Oh, this team needs a point guard."
It's like, man, it agitates me hearing some of the Dumont stuff.
But I think that was also before Masai was hired too. Like I think
it was.
that was
Yeah,
like,
I'm pretty sure Cuban said it was. I'm pretty sure Cuban said it was before. I mean, even though I think Dumont knew Masai was the guy the whole time.
They're gonna like whoever the pick is. I feel like it gets passed by to Dumont, and there's an approval with every owner, but he's not making the pick, and Masai and Mike are making the pick. So I'm not too worried about that. Here's the great part about Dumont. I mean, we saw the worst case scenario of what a passive owner does in February of 2025, but now he just gets to sit back. He can sit on his Sands properties and just watch Masai like run his franchise. And it's a good thing. I don't want my owners being involved. I don't like the Jerry Jones or the basketball Jerry Jones that we have in Dallas usually.
Yeah. Dumont. No, I think I'm fully on board with you there. There's not much I have to say in regards to that. I mean, I think Masai's full. I mean, Cuban said it multiple times. Masai's in full control of basketball operations. I'm sure it's protocol run things by the owner, but it's more so, hey, I'm doing this. Okay, sounds good. Like, I don't think Patrick Dumont's watching a late night film on Kingston Fleming.
Not a chance. I don't even know if he knows who Brayden Burries is until like he gets introduced at the draft. Sitting here today, who do you think the pick will be? And we'll close with that.
Ooh.
Damn, we were an hour and a half. I didn't realize that. I apologize if I kept you from your
bedtime. No. Time flies when you're talking hoops, bro. I enjoyed it. I would say, who do I think the pick will be versus who I want it to be? I think highest probability you got to go Brayden Burries. Who do I want it to be? Michael Brown.
How would you rank the guards, putting you on the spot? And you have Burries ahead of Phylon, I assume?
Do I have Burries? Yeah. I do. I'm a Phylon guy. I'm a Phylon fan, but I think, look,
Burries is a lot safer with the size.
Thank you.
I kind of want to kind of want to gamble because I don't know. The tape from Phylon is just
Dude,
nuts. I know he's like 120 pounds soaking wet, but like, damn, that tape is crazy.
the tape is crazy. You brought up the gamble point. I'm more of like the reliability, safer side. If we're talking about like how would I rank them in terms of skill, it's totally different versus how I would rank them based off of who I would take with the pick. Based off of skill and potential in the league, I would probably go Michael 1.
Michael 1.
Skill and potential, not Mavs need, but Michael 1. I think you got to put Wagler at 2. I mean, especially with his size and just like as someone who loves watching basketball, like his pace is ridiculous. He's has the basketball on a string. I would go Wagler 2. 3 is where it gets tricky because you have Kingston, Acuff, Phylon, who also and Burries. I would probably go
Burries for you, right?
no, because I said if we're going off potential, I said earlier that potential wise, I think Kingston's the riskier pick, but he has a higher ceiling. So I mean, I'd probably go
Interesting.
potential wise. I would go Kingston, and then I think Acuff could be really good.
I didn't even think about Acuff.
Yeah, I would go. I mean, I don't know. The defense is really scary. It's really bad.
It's funny. Everyone on Mavs Twitter was like super in on Acuff, and then like now that the season's over, everyone's like back
too,
on that.
but
And now during the season, I was too low on Acuff, and now it's like flipped to where I like him more because like I think the dude has like legit offensive injured potential, and the defense is bad. Can it really fucking be that bad in the NBA, like to that level? Like it was like catastrophic. I don't know.
look,
And he has better size than a lot of these smaller guards. It's just about his mentality. Like if he cares about this whatsoever, there's no excuse that it'll be close to where he is in college. I'm not saying he's gonna be a good defender, but just be bad, not like worse than Trae Young in college level. That's all I want.
I think it also I really do think it matters about the roster that you have around you. By no means, I don't think Jalen Brunson's like a above average defender in the NBA, but
No,
New York build.
he's willing, but he's still a bad defender.
He's willing, yeah. I mean, he plays his ass off, and so when you build a team around Brunson with Michael, OG, Hart, those kind of guys, you can survive. So I mean, that's where my opinion is on Acuff. I mean, look, I think people trolled the Mavs trolled Luka for a very long time about his defense, but won a Western Conference Finals playing the defense the way he did with the team around him. So
we built an elite defense around Kyrie and Luka backcourt, which
and half a fucking season, man.
Sure, exactly. And like none of those guys were even like all defensive players technically. Like why
Should've
wouldn't PJ a good defender? Yeah, I guess so. That's true. Derrick Jones Jr. monster POA defender in a way. Maybe not monster, but really good POA defender. That's what changed the season personally for me is like Josh Green has all the athletic capabilities of being a decent POA defender, but could not do what Derrick Jones does on the POA. That changed that season. And then you got PJ and Lively. So I think there's ways to build around. And then the Acuff would be like hopefully your worst defender in that lineup, and hopefully everyone else would be a good defender. So I don't know. I'm curious. I don't buy that. I don't buy the rumor that the Mavericks are considering trading up for Acuff. I didn't want to bring it up.
Dude, I'm sorry. I don't want to call out reports, but I'm so tired of that one. So agitating, man. Oh, it's a headache. The other thing is like there's a 0% chance an Acuff Kyrie duo could fit on the floor today either.
Yeah, but going back to my point earlier, I don't think if this point guard is Michael for sure starting on the opening day next to Kyrie.
I fucking hope so.
I don't know if he would. Honestly, I could see them not going though. Michael's defense wasn't great this year, and that's the thing with all these guards. Is honestly, outside of Kingston and Burries and then for me, Darren Peterson, like every other guard prospect in this draft, in that range, especially cones on defense this year for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they could be like I almost just fell back in my chair. I guess they could be something like a Fox Harper pairing to start, where Harper's that 6 man, and it's like eventually like the torch is just going to get passed over to Michael.
Kyrie's even older than Fox
Fox.
too, and
Yeah. What
that's
Fox?
I mean, I don't. Do you really think Kyrie's going to be here multiple years after, like starting today, like for multiple years from now? Do you think he's going to be here?
Don't break my
Maybe.
heart. Don't break my heart.
I know, but that's just how it is. I mean, once the trade happened, timelines shifted completely. Once we won the
This is my
lottery,
take.
even more so, timelines shifted.
This is my take on it. If Kyrie's with Dallas on opening, and I think he retires a Maverick.
I wouldn't hate it, but
I do. Part of me though, I'm gonna double advocate myself. Part of me though is like, I feel like Masai like could give a rat's ass about like how Mavs fans feel about Kyrie. I mean, the way he's spoken about how it's the Cooper Flag era, like and everything like that. I do see a world where it's like, yeah, we're not going to entertain Kyrie offers right now, but what I am going to do is I'm going to let Kyrie work his value up in the first half of the season and then potentially move him at the deadline to contend.
here's my counter to that though is right now at this very moment there are a ton of playoff teams and contenders that had their season cut short because they didn't have a secondary creator, and there might be a high level of desperation. I'm thinking about the Pistons, I'm thinking about the Rockets, thinking about the Timberwolves, and that moment to strike with the desperation might unfortunately be this summer.
Who gives you a good offer though? I hate
That's the
all
other thing. I don't
I
think the
hate all
offers are
these
going to be as
20
bad.
trades. I
I don't
hate
know what.
20 trades.
I don't want to sell low. For sure, not selling low. Like the Pistons trade proposal from ESPN, I'm not doing. It has to be a good offer. But I think you can get a good offer because he's on a great contract, which is the biggest part of it. Like he's going to be the 44th highest paid player in the NBA this coming season. Like he's not on these like some of these contracts, like the Damian Lillard, for example, when he was on Milwaukee, was kind of like overpriced for what he did in the past as a smaller guard. But Kyrie took a discount last summer, and while it would be kind of like stab in the back to kind of trade someone that took less for you, I also would not, under any circumstance, I'm not trading Kyrie unless like he's okay with it. Like if he wants to stay, then let him stay. But
Would you
it's just like the timelines are so different. Like if we, I don't know, the timelines are just so different. There's going to be desperation from teams. Like at some point, it just might make sense. Like that, one of these teams are just going to like get desperate and do it. I
By the
don't know
way, I
what
saw
like.
someone said they wouldn't do it for Reed Shepard, and I actually laughed. I laughed.
Like
If you get offered Reed Shepard for Kyrie Irving, you do it. Like,
really, I think a lot of people are down on Reed Shepard after the playoffs.
I
I think the Rockets also own like our picks, some sort of pick swap in like
it's swap.
2020. The Rockets, yeah, they own some sort of pick swap that we're involved with because it was the trade, I believe, that for the Kyrie Irving trade originally from Brooklyn
So
to Dallas. The Rockets now have possession of that pick, so maybe you can get that type of
just
asset back. Reed Shepard, I still believe in Reed Shepard as a player. I don't know if he's like main piece in a Kyrie Irving trade level, especially after the
I
playoffs,
don't think
but
may, but like just to put
part of
into
it for
perspective,
sure.
his rookie season, he shot 2.7 threes per game on a 33.8% clip. 2.7 threes. This year, 7 threes per game on a 39.4% 3-point clip. So four more threes per game at a 6% higher, shooting rate. Pretty fucking impressive. Obviously the playoff concern is there. I mean, 9 attempts from three per game, only 30% from three. 21-year-old in the playoffs against the Lakers. I mean, yeah, I guess I could keep making excuses about it, but I mean that sparks a lot of interest. I think another one that I would be really interested in is if you could find a way to nudge the Heat about Tyler Hero maybe. That's something that would intrigue
It
me.
sounds like I feel like it's almost not a certainty, but it sounds like Giannis is going to go to the Heat and Tyler Hero would be in that trade. And that's another team that you could capitalize on their desperation. If for whatever reason that Giannis to Miami trade doesn't happen, does Miami? Do you make a call with Miami, try to get the 13th pick and whatever else they want? But
Kyrie and
that's the
Bane would be really fun together.
yeah. So that's the thing, man. This is like the one opportunity you might have of teams being desperate and throwing you stuff. And I don't
True,
think the trade
man.
offers are going to be that bad. And also think Kyrie can opt out of his contract after this year too. So if he
You're
has like
right.
a sick, if
You're
he has a
right.
sick year, and he just wants to bounce and actually go to a contender just on his own, then at that point you're not getting as much for him. But I also see the argument
Well,
for
who
like
can
letting
pay
him
him in
start the
free
season
agency?
here. That's a good point. Because a lot of
Brooklyn?
teams just don't have. Brooklyn would be one of the few teams. That is a good point, though. Teams don't just open up cap space like that anymore. I mean, like Masai said, free agency is basically dead. So, uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't want Kyrie was one of my favorite players. Like even before he came to the Mavericks, in spite of all the hoopla of what was going on in Brooklyn with the coronavirus and all that, like he was always been one of my favorite players. On the Cavs, he was one of my favorite players. Like I'm a emotionally attached to Kyrie, but I
Mark?
also want what's best for this franchise even more so. And
Yeah. Mark brought up a good point in that interview he did on with Ben and Skin. It was like it was just talking about like Kyrie as a person. And he spoke about like, even like through all the hate and everything like that, like every single time a game ended, every single player from the opposing team went right up to Kyrie to dap
oh
him up
yeah,
like that.
he's
So
probably the most respected like player among his peers, like in the entire NBA.
yeah,
I would say
yeah, he's the
is
man.
Kyrie's number one.
He's the man. Yeah, I hope they don't move him. The people that
I don't think they will, and I'm not even saying I want it to happen or anything like that. I'm not ruling it out, and like if the proof is that Masai said that he wants to see Coop and Kyrie play together, like GMs lie a lot, you know.
Yeah, there's one guy who I praise moved by opening night. Could you guess who?
Does it rhyme with Manuel Mafford?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's really no excuse for him to be. I could see the argument because he did kind of have like a bad year, and maybe you could build up his value a little bit. Kind of feel that same way with PJ, but damn,
I'm neutral.
all these vets shouldn't be on the team. With all due respect,
Yeah.
like they just shouldn't. You're not going to like this. I don't know if I feel like you might need to check the temperature for Najee Marshall and Max Christie, because here's the
Max?
thing. The thing is, you have to make contract decisions on these guys soon. Max is interesting, man. I mean, I don't know his shooting
I feel like
tops in a
Najee's
playoff
such a
series.
Masai guy. I feel like Najee's such a Masai guy.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. But how much are you willing to pay him? He's making like I want to say like 8 million. So he's on a cheap contract right now. He's not making 8 million on his
I
next
mean,
contract. It's gonna be
12.
like 20 per. I think it gets 20.
Ooh.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe you get away with it because the team doesn't have the cap space to do it. But I could see Najee's contract getting up to 20. I could see Max is getting up to that. I'm worried about Max in a playoff setting, and he's a good shooter for sure. But I'm worried he's a little bit too much of a specialist in the playoff setting because I don't know if he can
Yeah.
put the ball on the ground. I don't know how good he is on defense. I feel like his defense was oversold during that whole Luka trade stuff. Like, I don't think he's that. He's all right, but like I don't know. If I can get like a first round pick, especially in this draft, I'm probably trying to get that done. I don't know if that's popular or unpopular or what, but that's the thing. No one is safe to me on this team besides Cooper Flag, and I would like Kyrie to be on the team, but at the same time, like if you get offers, you can't just say no.
I think they're
Masai's
right.
not saying
I
no
think,
either. Oh, and Derek Lively, you can't get anything for Derek Lively anyway.
yeah.
Uh, but you got you. They're not going to give him an extension this summer, so he's not like necessarily factored into long term stuff. But I mean, just off of his rookie year run, anchoring a team to the NBA Finals, one of the best rookie performances we've ever seen in a playoff run. Because rookies don't usually go on playoff teams. Like one of the most memorable rookie playoff runs I can recall in my lifetime. I wasn't
Special.
old enough for Magic Johnson.
Special. That was a. Oh man, I still get the clip that pops up on my YouTube every single day. Like when I'm going to watch videos, it's like last 5 minutes and 16 seconds of Game 6 of the Western Conference semifinals. It's like magical, man. That Derek Jones fadeaway shot, top 3 favorite Mavs shot of all time for me. That was special.
That was a pretty crazy shot. Anything else, man? We didn't get to the Cuban comments, but I mean we've gone too long anyway, so we're not going to get to
Yeah,
that today.
no, I think I mean I said for me Burries is the most expected. I never got to hear never got to hear who you think. Not who you want, who you think.
No, I know. I can really see a scenario Keaton Wagler is available at 9. I really can.
Whoa.
I think Michael's going to go 5. I could really see the Nets going Nate Amon at 6. Then the Kings are going A Cuff, and I could see the Hawks going 8 Mara.
Wow.
And then process of elimination that leaves Keaton Wagler there. I could just see Wagler being a little faded by these teams, and hopefully it doesn't include us too. But I could see Wagler just like
That'd be
souring some
awesome.
of these teams because of his draft workouts. Like he's just
That
not. He looks like a YMCA athlete in draft workouts. I bet. So
yeah, that would be awesome,
I could see Wagler being there, and I also don't know for a fact that they would take Wagler over Burries. If I'm being completely honest, man.
dude.
I know, I know, I know. I
No,
don't
I
know.
get. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
There's not there's not enough like hard draft into, which is probably a good thing that stuff isn't leaking. But like, there's just some stuff that I could see like them preferring Burries to like these guys. And if you
My,
believe that if you believe in the Burries and Paul are angling to get the Burries to 9 rumor, then um I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't be that aggressive unless they got some assurances in some way. So I don't. I'm
my
prepared
last.
for Burries to get. I'm prepared for Burries to get taken over all of our favorite point guards if
Yeah,
it
I could see it.
comes down to that.
My last
I
question
also could see. I could see Wagler going 6-2, but I don't know. As I sit here today, I could see like scenario Wagler's there. It's at 9.
would
Go
be
for it.
I would be ecstatic. But my last question could be yes or no. Do you think there's any way the Mavs could get Kaysen in the draft via trade?
I don't. I just think he's too important to that team. I don't buy all the PJ for Case and stuff. Like why the hell would Oklahoma City do that to me? I feel like Kaysen's like the next up for the Caruso, Lou Dort. Like just slot him in. I don't think they're gonna keep Lou Dort. Caruso is past 30. I mean, he does have a few good years left, but I feel like Kaysen just slots in nicely into that role. I would just start him every game. It does kind of seem like I could, if I'm reading between the lines from that Kaysen Wallace quote, I could see him maybe being unhappy with Oklahoma City in a way because he never got to play point guard. He was a point guard, like a defensive stopping point guard, but he never got to play point guard uh, in Oklahoma City. He's basically just a 3-and-D guy. So maybe he wants a bigger role. He's going to get a fat bag. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's realistic for us to get Kaysen. And I'm starting to think it's not necessarily realistic that Oklahoma City is trading all that stuff to move up 3 spots,
No,
especially if what you're saying is true that Mara doesn't make a lot of sense on that team. But I kind of do think they want Mara personally still.
I just don't. Yeah, I mean,
But you made a good point. I wasn't thinking about that with all the centers they have. They have a shit ton of centers,
even
especially with Sorber. They drafted Sorber in the lottery or very after,
Server
right
was
after
like
the lottery.
right there. Also, like, this could be like just unnecessary, but like that Carlson guy had a few good games for OKC too. Brandon Carlson. Uh,
Yeah, but
I mean irrelevant, but I'm just saying they have a lot of centers.
you would trade? Would you trade PJ straight up for 17 if that was like a? I know it would require. I mean, PJ and probably like some salaries. You wouldn't do it. I think.
Throw in Joe and I do it.
Well, it would have to take one of those salaries because they can't just take on PJ. So like
I mean, the preference would be
Joe,
Wiggins. No, like I think
either of those. So you would do it if it was like 17 and Wiggins for PJ or something like that.
yeah, man. I a lot of people are like been like I don't want to give up on PJ. Like I still think he could be a good fit with Coop.
Interesting. Yeah, I think the fit thing is. I'm worried about their fit a little bit, but I also want to see it with like good NBA
Dude,
guard play.
yeah, like I want to see like to where like Cooper Flagg's not playing point guard and like you have two bigs on the floor. Like I want to see like if you're gonna do like PJ is a fucking phenomenal power forward. He is a really good power forward in the NBA. That's like what in 2024 got him to like that Aaron Gordon tier kind of thing. Was he a Luka merchant? Sure, you could say that. Um, I
In
thought
some
20
ways,
I thought, he had a really good stretch in 2025 after the trade. Um, and so did Gaff. I want Gaff traded, I'm just saying. Um, so I could see both sides. You could, PJ could be another guy that you wait to deal until the deadline, see if he can raise. I don't think his value could decrease that much. Um, and the neat thing about the way that PJ plays, he's a guy that you want on your team in the playoffs. Sort of like how teams would want, a Yaxel right now to compete with in the playoffs. That's a playoff kind of player. Um, so I don't think PJ's value can decrease that much from now until the trade deadline. So if you want to hold on to him and see if his value can raise rather than stay stagnant, go for it. See how it works with Coop. Um, but I mean, hell, if the Mavs do some BS and get Yaxel, you have to trade PJ immediately. But I don't think that's going to happen. Um,
Why is it BS if they get Yaxel?
no, I'm saying
I don't like. I mean, we did the exercise. I did not consider Yaxel at 9 like one time
yeah.
during that exercise, but damn, fuck, man, we can't let that guy go to Oklahoma City. I think he's going to be really good, better than what people think. I don't. I mean, this isn't probably like the best time to bring it up, but ESPN brought up the upside comp of Jalen Johnson for Yaxel. I don't know if you think that's egregious. So to me, he's not like a PJ type. Like I feel like he's the worst version of that group of wings, like the Franz Wagner, Scotty Barnes, Jalen Johnson. Like the worst version of those type of wings is what I think Yaxel will be offensively. And I think he's better defensively than some of those guys I just mentioned. Like for sure, besides Scotty Barnes, better on defense than the other guys I mentioned. So that's why I don't know. I could see it with Yaxel, but maybe the creation that isn't as good as those guys, but I don't know. I hold him in high regard to where like if they do it at 9, I'm pretty okay with it. And I do think he's better than PJ person or will be better than PJ. PJ for 17 is interesting, man, because I'm not necessarily guaranteeing that the pick at 17 is going to be better than PJ, but I kind of like the rookie contract like trade off you get with the salaries, and I think you can get a really sick player at 17, a player that I'm going to be high on probably. Like I mean, in this draft, Alan Graves went 17. After Alan Graves, you can get like an Aquari at 17 if you want like Yaxel at 12 or something like that. Like, there's a lot of scenarios with that. Or
I think
Phylon.
I,
Phylon might get to 17.
I think that kind of trade would have to happen, like sort of like it's like currently like pick 14 on the clock, and you see who's available at that time. I don't think that's the kind of trade that you do like right before the draft or like it's like mid lottery. I think you gotta sort of have an idea of who's available, that who's going to be available at 17, and then go from there.
In a way, but if you're doing the exercise right now, you can come up to like 18 names that you'll like still. Even regardless of how the draft pans out, you could still come up with like 18 names that you like, you know?
Right, but like sort of like argue with you on that. Like I would say like, do you want to take two guards, like a point guard and a shooting guard?
Well, if you somehow got Burries to go to 12, which isn't out of the realm, I don't know if it'll happen, but if like you could pair Burries and Phylon 12, 17 or something, I don't know. If you went Burries at 9, for example, and got 17 from Oklahoma City from 17, Phylon would be, I mean, Burries, Phylon, I mean, all the debates of Phylon or Burries, how about both? And I think they meshed well together. Like
Just got a
what Burries can't do, I think Phylon can do, and vice versa. I
just got
really like that duo.
that actually is long term wise too. You just got a good
That's
question.
one positive about Burries is I think you can still get a guard later if you wanted to. I don't know
Yeah,
if they would, but you can get a point guard to pair with Burries. I think Jimmy brought that up on our stream.
there's
There was so many effing scenarios with this. It's gonna make your
just
head
got a good
explode. But
question. What can
where
you even get? What can you even get from Najee from Jonathan Silo? That,
that's a
it,
good question.
I think he probably would bring
Is
you
he
the most draft value.
over PJ?
I mean, after the year he had, I mean,
But I feel like we've seen like the PJ type of players are more valuable in the playoffs. I would say, just like the Eric
right, which
Gordon
is why I
PJ
think it would
types.
be a more valuable trade asset at the deadline rather than
Maybe yeah. Part of my urgency with wanting to maybe trade vets soonish is because I wanted to get into this specific draft.
yeah. Next year's
And like
draft
the next year's
sucks.
draft, yeah. I don't think it's gonna be as bad as what it's panned out to be because some guys went back NIL wise. Like, I don't know. I could see Braylon Mullins like I mean soaring up in the top 10 or something like that. I don't know. Some of these guys that went back
Oh,
just have better years. But definitely this year's draft is better than next year's draft. So
we'll
I
see.
would like a pick in the teens or 20s again, like in this draft.
I would do that. I would, yeah. I would probably want Wiggins more. The thing is like Isaiah Joe, like that's a pretty good freaking shooter, man. If you go get Isaiah Joe, like that's the kind of guy that you want in the playoffs. I mean, look at Champagny, man. I mean, like how much he's changed for the Spurs. The Mavs severely need that. Max Christie has not proven to me that he can do that. The Mavs need a knockdown shooter, like the way like again, not to be repetitive, but the Spurs have Champagny, the Knicks have Shamit. Um, the Cavs have Sam Merrill.
And we
Um,
have John Poulikaitis.
okay, you cooked low key. You
But I
low
don't
key.
know. I don't know. I was high. I mean, I still like Pulakaitis, but I don't. It's tough with the new front office. Like I feel like
He was
especially the
guarding.
two.
He was guarding, bro. He was guarding. Like he was not like a cone by any means when he was in the game.
No, I think the Mavericks should bring him back, but my only hesitancy is when you bring in a new front office, they're going to have their type of flavors for the two-way players, and our flavor was the shooters this past two-way cycle with Tyler Smith and Pulakaitis. I think Pulakaitis showed too much to just let him go, but I don't know how Masai is going to think because I would assume Masai is going to want the Masai type of guys with all the two-way guys. So
Dwight Powell on the roster on opening night. Last question.
say it again.
Is Dwight Powell on the roster on opening night?
Well, Jay's the one that made the report of the, so I don't know where he heard it from.
Yeah.
But if you were to ask me, I don't know. I don't know. I could see it. I could see him not being back personally. And if he's not back, then I could see Jay's retirement thing happening. I don't know.
Do you put his jersey in the rafters?
No.
No.
I'm sorry. No, you can't do it. We're not. Oklahoma City can do it with Nick Collison. I'm not doing it in Dallas. All due respect, he can have the records for most rebounds or games and whatnot, but no, number 7 is not going up in the rafters.
Yeah, I think
Sorry.
I think it also doesn't help that like Cuban is really like I mean he has 27%, but like that not too much affiliation with the Mavs, and DP was a Cuban guy, so I don't know. We'll see on that.
All right, man. Well, this was fun. Maybe we could get back together before the draft or even react to the draft afterwards. We have 19 days out. I'm actually going to be in Brooklyn for the draft. Hopefully I didn't dox myself, but I will be in Brooklyn for the draft. Yeah. I'm going to the draft. Tickets aren't that expensive, actually. Everything else is expensive in the world, but so for some reason NBA draft tickets are not as crazy as you would think. So
are you guys going to Summer League?
It's just me going to Brooklyn. I don't know if I'm going to go to Summer League. Maybe Jay might, but I would like to get to Summer League, but it's tough. It's tough to get out there now.
Yeah.
So yeah. Any other thoughts, comments? I think we touched on a lot besides the Cuban stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we covered a lot.
We did. Wish we got some more draft intel, but like I said also earlier, like it's maybe a good thing we're not getting draft intel. But it just would be fun to hear stuff.
I think we'll have a lot more like 2 weeks from today. I think hopefully, it seems like Fisher's a little more tapped in than Stein on the draft stuff.
I don't want to call it anyone, but I'm going to. Fisher also got like a pick like wrong on draft day a couple years ago with Kalel, where you can't do that.
No, he got like it was more.
It was more than one. Yeah,
it was bad. It was really bad. Which is why I was sort of like
do that.
Which is why I was sort of shocked that he got put onto that stub sack when it happened. But
no comment.
Yeah, no comment. Okay, Jason, good.
No comment on that.
No, it'll be cool to see. Yeah, shout out Brett Siegel. So yeah, I think like 2 weeks from now we'll have more intel, and like also I think at this point we haven't heard of like I don't know if like the Mavs have done workouts with any of those like elite guards in the draft yet.
Yeah, that's a good point. The most, I think, the highest rated player that's been reported for sure to work out with the Mavericks is Christian Anderson so far.
Yeah, so I think like
I think Zuby has, but yeah,
I think once they start getting like Michael, Keaton, those guys in, like there's going to be reports starting to come out. I would assume Stein would have reports on that kind of stuff. So, hopefully that happens sooner than later, and we have something to chit chat about.
Yeah, we need some reports or workout reports coming up. But with that in mind, appreciate you joining us.
Yeah,
if you're watching this, appreciate you for joining for over 2 hours on a last minute DM. You're a psycho, but I appreciate you for being a psycho. If you haven't yet, please follow Mason at MFFL Nation on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube too.
Yep.
MFFL Nation on all those sites. If you haven't subscribed to us, what are you doing? At Mavs Film Room on YouTube. Follow us at Mavs Film Room on Twitter. We'll be back with another stream soon. All draft content head coaching search, wherever that goes. So there's just a ton of stuff that the Mavericks are going through with this offseason. It's been a whirlwind of a offseason so far. I mean, a new head coach, a new president of basketball operations, whoever riding next to Coop in a couple weeks. So stay tuned, locked in. We're going to have more guests and all that coming up. So thank you all for watching, and everyone have a good night.